Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Big Blue Power tonight. I'm here with my host Evan. How you doing, man?
Doing pretty well, man. Doing pretty well. Excited to see the Giants are still signing people, still signing what we need O line, which brings us into our first category here, the sign of J.C. Hassenauer. Injured last year, but the last he hasn't given up a sack the 2 years previous to that. So I was really excited to see that. So he's a center that plays center, and that's what we
Yeah,
need. Not a guard that plays center. He's a center that plays center. We need to see a little bit more of him this year, so I'm kind of happy about that.
yeah. I like the signing. I know he's played a lot. He's a lot of stops of for 2 seasons for the Steelers. So I feel that I think it's a good depth signing, and maybe he'll end up being a starter for us.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. Like I said, he's was this his fifth year option was or fourth year option was declined, and we ended up picking him up. Seeing how much cap space we have, I'm surprised we got him for what we got him for.
Yeah.
I didn't really read into his injury too much. I'm gonna do a little bit more reading into it.
Hmm.
But I know he only played about what 3 or 4 games last year, maybe five.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a lot of games, but he had a couple penalties in that game also in that year, more than usual. So he had kind of a down year last year,
Yeah.
but solid first 2 years in the league.
Yeah. I like I said, I don't really know much about him. I couldn't find any film on him. I was looking for like film. I'd have to go back and watch all the Steelers games. You know what I mean? Like there's no actual separate film on players. You could find film on players. I found nothing on them really.
He's
But
not a skill position. You're not going to find, like,
yeah,
oh,
exactly.
look at this offensive center that was
Yeah,
drafted 3 years ago. It's not going to happen.
yeah, yeah,
But,
exactly.
well, bring that to us that do you now think that that brings us to the draft where you've done some mocks today,
Yep.
which I was looking at. Do you think that kind of solidifies our first round to either quarterback or wide receiver?
I think it's possible. I think that they might even take a linebacker. But there's some good linebackers. Like say, good linebacker roles. I still think they need another one. Um, you have Akira K. You have your outside guys. In the defensive wing plays. But I think they may need one more. But cornerback is a really good position that I think we could good. But I went wide receiver like 3 times in the mocks I did. Like one of them I took Hyatt from Tennessee. One of
Yeah,
them I took Zay Flowers. It
yeah,
was like those 2 guys. I didn't like in the mock drafts. I did, and Jigba wasn't there. Um, and then a couple of times I went Sims. I think it's Sampson or Simpson from Clemson, the linebacker.
yeah,
And I also took like Tua Tutu, whatever his name is from Alabama. Um,
yeah. The
it's
linebacker.
I don't like his name. Hey, what's up, Rob? What's going on?
What's up, man? The mayor of Las Vegas, Russ, after checking in. Thanks,
Yep,
man.
absolutely.
Not much, man. Just following Giants football.
Yeah,
Thank you for Darren Waller. Appreciate it.
yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. Thank you for your support. So but I just started like looking at the draft, but doing the mocks, you never know. You see crazy mocks, you know. But I think
I see
wide
some
receiver
unrealistic ones.
or interior offensive line. Like one
Yeah,
of the
like I
guys
said,
I took was Torrance from Florida, or Cyrus Torrance, a guard. And
okay.
I think
Is
they're
there any way
looking.
you can pull these drafts up so we can go over or no?
Yeah, I could pull it up. Yeah, if you give me a second, um,
Yeah, pull them up, pull them
I
up.
could definitely pull them up because I think that
'Cause
you
the
know
last one you sent me is kind of how I want our 3 rounds to go.
yeah,
Especially
exactly.
Noah School in the third round. And they have a D plus one all the way. How do you have a D plus when Noah School, was one of the best middle linebackers in the
Yeah,
Pac-12?
I actually took Sewell in one of the mocks I did. Mako Spencer's the quarterbacks are 4 or 5 deep. Wide receivers are 5, probably starters in depth. Yeah, that's what I know is like I was doing the mocks. I'm going to pull it up here in a minute. There were some good corners. Like I took this guy in the fourth round, Corey Price from Purdue.
Yeah,
Looked like a pretty good. I haven't watched film on him, but from what I read from some of the reviews, he's a
I think
really
Joey
solid
Porter
corner.
Jr. is going to be there
Yeah,
when we draft,
yeah,
and I would love to get him because if we don't get him,
yeah,
he's going to go right to the Cowboys. Cowboys are going to snatch him up And
Yeah,
you imagine Diggs with Joey Porter Jr. in the backfield.
yep,
Oh my God, that's gonna be a fucking defense that we fear for a lifetime.
yeah,
And I
but
do not want
yeah,
that.
yeah. But before we talk about that, I just wanted to give a plug to our new sponsor, Monkey Cult Coffee. Use the promo code OOTBS Sports at the checkout. MonkeyCultCoffee.com. They have some great infused bourbon chocolate coffee, which is excellent. I suggest you try it out and get a bag. I mean, it is excellent coffee. I've had it, and it's pretty excellent. Evan's had it too. I mean, it's so check out the
I think a warm
check them out.
brownie.
What's up?
I think a warm brownie. Like drinking a warm brownie.
Yeah, exactly. It's so good. So check them out, monkeycoldcoffee.com, and enjoy a nice cup of coffee in the morning, especially for a Giants game or before the draft. You know.
A big Giant season sitting in MetLife Stadium with the wind blowing.
Yeah, exactly,
Can't beat it.
exactly. So but yeah, just let me pull the mock up. The mocks I was doing, because I was just going to the fifth round because I have no idea who to pick in like the fifth, the sixth, seventh round. I have no idea. Once you get that, you're picking
I
like
do the
you're
seventh
picking like
round
the
pick.
best players. You know what I'm saying? So it's just
With that site, I always let computer draft because
yeah,
I can't be like, oh well, you know,
yeah,
the Jameis Smith is gonna drop all in 25.
yeah,
I can't say that.
yeah. Well, he doesn't have much speed, but here's one of the mocks I did just recently. Pick 25, I took Zay Flowers.
Yeah.
Um, Pick 57, I took John Michael Schmitz, the center. He's from Minnesota.
Yes.
So, he's 65 on some of the boards, 70s, but he's a center. And I know they got Hassenauer, but I think you should still draft someone to create some competition. It could
No,
be
I would
Bredesen.
draft. Well, Hasselhauer's on a 1 year deal, so I would definitely
Exactly.
get a young guy behind him who can
Exactly,
play.
exactly. Because you don't know if Bredesen's going to stay. Bredesen can get hurt. Hassenauer's
Yeah.
going to be a rookie, not rookie, but he's going to come in. I don't know how he's going to do. So I focused on interior offensive line. And then with my third pick, I picked a guy you mentioned. I got a horrible grade for it, though. It doesn't matter. Noah
Yeah,
Sewell,
D
the
plus. I'm like, there's
linebacker.
no way.
You know, I picked him at 89. I don't know if he's going to last that long. You know what I mean?
He's
But
not gonna last that long. There's no way.
so you never know in the mocks. And then at 120, I took Corey Trice from Purdue,
Cornerback.
a cornerback. Yes, cornerback from Purdue.
Yeah.
They also need safety. I took at 160. I took Marte Mapu. I think that's how you say his name, from Sacramento State. He's like
Okay.
a linebacker. He was originally a linebacker. He got pushed to cornerback. Played cornerback for them. Real
Usually it's the
physical.
opposite way around. Usually you have a safety who's a little too big, and
Yeah,
they drop
he's
him
not
down the
like a safety, but
linebacker.
he is really physical, like a real physical corner. He's only like 206. So, in college, you could play linebacker at a lower weight. And then with my last pick, I took defensive lineman, let's see, Yona Tavai. I don't know how to say his name. Real explosive edge guy. Because I still think they need another edge for a rotation.
I do too.
Like I like, and you never know with Ojolari. Is Ojolari going to get hurt? Do you know what I'm saying? Like
His
I just
brother
don't
is
know.
in the draft now. His brother is in the draft.
Yeah. So so that's one of the mocks I did. And then I did a couple other mocks, just general ones. I think it's like one of them I traded down. Um, let's see. This one I did. I took um, Trenton Simpson, the linebacker, at 25 from Clemson.
Uh,
I took at 79. I actually traded down in this one. At 79, I took Jonathan Mingo from Ole Miss, wide receiver. He had like
okay.
1,300 yards last year. Pretty solid. And then I took a center at 89, Luke Weipler from Ohio State, interior offensive line. At 106, I took. Go ahead. What? What did you say? What do you ask a question? And then I took Henry 202, 2022. However you say, I don't know how to say his name. From Alabama, the linebacker from Alabama.
Mine says Danny Bo Sox has a message for you. It says the Anaheim Rangers will lose in the first round. I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
I
It's
hope
two or
not.
three times, please.
I'll be mad. I'll be mad. I won't be happy at all. But you know what happens in the playoffs, so we'll see.
I
It's,
think,
it's
like I
still a
said,
couple weeks off.
really what matters right now is the first and second round
Yeah.
because we're going to need to address two big spots.
Yep.
The guy from Minnesota, center from Minnesota, I believe, is on the top of our list. I really do.
I would
I
take him.
think
He's
at
really
25,
athletic, really good. Go ahead.
yes, at 25, I think he is a prime target. As is Zay Flowers if he falls.
Yep.
The kid from TCU, also the wide receiver from TCU.
Yep.
Um, Johnson, I think he's on top of the list.
Yep.
Good size, good hands, and he's a great route runner on top of it.
Yeah.
Can get to the middle of the field very quickly. But like I said, scary for me is we do need a quarterback. I think Aaron Robinson, his health being
Yeah.
up and down the last couple of years. Now
Hmm.
Dane Belton coming into his own on this, in the safety area.
Yep.
I'm kind of liking that. With Dory Jackson and with Aaron Robinson being a little I would go. I think Joey Porter Jr. would be. If there's not a solid, wide receiver out there, and you think you can move up to get the kid from Minnesota, I think
Yeah.
that would be perfect to get Joey Porter Jr. That's really my pick because I do not want to see Dallas snag him up.
Hmm.
So I
Yeah.
really don't want to see them because him and Diggs in the backfield. That's
Yeah.
5 years of damage control.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, cornerback. I mean, I think it's always a good position to take. It's still something they kind of struggled. Like when they had an injury last year, they struggled. You know what I mean? Um,
Michael says, "How much are you going to miss Love to Seattle?" The Giants offered him more money. He
yeah.
still went to Seattle, so I think he thought the grass would be greener on the other side.
Hmm.
He's going to be a starter out there, and that's for sure. So there's no ill will to him, but he's really come in the last couple of years to his own.
Yeah.
But the same thing I said with Jones. In this league nowadays, you got to be an impact player your 1 2 3 years, not wait
Yeah.
until your fourth or fifth year to be an impact player.
Yeah. I like Julian Love. I would have liked it if he stayed. I think he was a solid Giant. He played well for us. He played well, and it seemed no matter what defense there is, he played well. You know, so I think that's something they kind of do need to replace. But I do like that they picked up Bobby McCain. They picked up a quarterback from Detroit Lions. I
Yes,
can't remember his name at the moment, but Bobby McCain's a really good zone guy. Always in the right place, good tackler. Something they need, something Wingo like. Uh, but talking the draft, I think that I really want them to get probably a wide receiver if it's there. I
yeah,
want either Addison, Hyatt, Robinson would be good, but I don't know if he'll be there. The kid from TCU.
yeah,
So you know, like I said, like I think that it's going to be interior offensive line or a wide receiver at 25, unless they're going to good
yeah,
trade offer and trade down. And that's another
yeah.
another question I had. I wanted to talk about. Should the Giants consider trading down if they see a player they know is going to be there, not far, and did a little more assets maybe? Because I know you mentioned they trade up, but do you think they
Yeah.
should trade down if the opportunity presents itself?
If the kid from Wisconsin is going, and all the wide receivers are going, and Joey Porter Jr. goes before 24 or 24,
Yep.
yeah, trade him. If
Oh yeah.
my three top players are not there by 25,
Hmm.
you trade down, most definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I
Because
think that.
if
Hmm. Go ahead.
you get more, it's always good. All right, maybe an A plus guy, you may get an A minus guy late in that round, but I'd rather have two or three B plus B guys than
Yeah.
just one A guy
Yeah.
because those three B plus guys are going to help you out in multiple positions
Yep.
rather than just one maybe superstar. Because remember, you played late round. Look at Clay Walker last year. Everybody was so high on him. He fell to what 27, 28 last year, and he
Yep.
did nothing for the
Yeah.
Packers. So just because you're a first round, the top 15 guys are usually stars.
Yeah.
It's after that it's really bad. It's they fall off so quick. Alex Leatherwood was 17. He was the
Yeah.
fourth in ranked offensive lineman,
Yeah.
but yet he's gone in 2 years. We don't need that here.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I think. I think that, depending on what their board looks like, if the players that, that we're targeting, they say wide receiver, say interior offensive line, linebacker, cornerback, I think those are probably their four main needs. Because the
Yeah.
interior line was bad last year. So if you know a guy's going to fall, and you could like as the draft goes on, Shane's going to be on the phone. He's going to be talking to teams. He's about to go, oh, you want to trade this pick? Oh, we see this player at 25. Maybe you get good assets. You won't get a good return, but you know, I think Shane at some point could make a trade. And I think trading down could be smart if the opportunity presents itself. But if one of the players you want is there, you got to take him at 25, obviously.
Well, we know that interior linemen do fall, and they're not really usually a high pick.
Hmm.
Highest pick last year was Lindstrom that went to Baltimore. He was like in
Yeah.
the teens or early 20s. Think so myself. And so the possibility that both the centers would be gone
Hmm.
in the early rounds is just impossible. It's just not how it goes. But a
Yeah.
good corner like Joey Porter Jr. I don't keep saying his name, but the kid's special. Like he is one of the shutdown corners of the Big Ten.
Yeah.
In the Big Ten with Michigan and Ohio State, he didn't play bad against them.
Yeah.
So I really believe he has something. He played great. I don't think he played in the Rose Bowl. I don't think he played. I think he sat out that game.
Yeah. Well,
But
players do.
he's one of the premier talents of the quarterback, and he's going to fall because of the needs of other teams. Is not really quarterback right now.
Yeah.
So I do believe he has what it takes to become a giant. I think he'll do well in wings off defense. Also, like I said, bring back uh, Dory Jackson. You also have Dane Belton, who's really coming into his own. And
Hmm.
I'm really liking the pickup. He's really solid, for especially Shane's first year. You got a couple of the linebackers coming back from last year who got hurt in preseason. Hopefully, some of the wide receivers that got hurt last year are coming back too, as in Johnson and Wandale Robinson coming back.
Yep.
So I'm really happy to see that.
Well, you have Darren Beavers, who got hurt last year, who looked good
Yeah,
in camp. He's a late round pick, but he looked good in camp. It's, hopefully he could stay healthy. We do get a chance to see what he's got. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Uh, you know, because linebacker especially, they need as much up. Mako says, remember this name, A.T. Terry, wide receiver from Wake Forest, 6'5", 215, a sleeper round 2 and 3. Like Mako says, when I was looking at the wide receivers, I was like, oh, this guy's too short. Do I
yeah.
really want a guy that's 5'8", 5'9", and fast like Robinson? Like we already have guys like that. You know.
Life was congratulations, Danny.
That's my friend Bo.
It's a special for us. Congratulations, guys. That's awesome. But yeah, like I said, those three guys are off the list. I really want to trade down and acquire more picks.
Yeah.
Um, here's a surprise that I don't think nobody's thinking of. What if we go backup quarterback? I know the top four are going to be off the board in the first round, but would you take the kid from Houston? I can't remember his name. University of Houston, size, he has it, great arm.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Basically, I would, I would say that again. I'm sorry.
I
No, say what you said again.
well, with going backup quarterback in like the mid rounds, like fourth or fifth,
I
the
would go
kid
fourth or fifth
from
round if I'm doing that. Life with this says, "What's up, Mike, son?"
what's up? What's up,
Yeah, I would do
Hoffman?
that. Yeah, but I'm taking one late. Like I'm making sure I have, hopefully I get a couple of players on my board. But I'm doing like fifth round, fourth round. I am not doing it in the
Oh,
top
not top
20.
three right now.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
If Shane sees a good backup or something like that, then yeah, Kafka's good with quarterbacks.
I think
Um,
he's got a real eye for Hedron Hooker. I really do.
he was in the mock drafts I was doing. He was there like the 4th or 5th round, like almost every time. I don't know why.
Next,
He just
ACOJ.
was. I looked at Bell. Yeah, I also looked at Bell. He's also short. Is he short or tall? Mexico? Because I thought he's like under 6 foot, and that's what I was trying to think of. Like I kind of want taller wide receivers. I want a big target that's athletic, that could go up and get the ball. Something like
Yeah,
Galladay was supposed to be. That's not
he's a
bad, but we
slot
have
guy.
slot guys. Like how
Yeah,
many
like
slot
three.
guys do we have? We have like 3 of them. So I really want a guy on the outside. I think Zay Flowers isn't tall, but he could do it all. But I want a guy like Hyatt, like Jalen Hyatt from
Yes.
Tennessee. You know, he looks good
I
to
don't
me.
know
Like,
why his cutting ability to just do a post route and get to the end zone. He gets past every safety in
yeah,
this, the SEC.
yeah, exactly.
So that surprises me the most because I'm like,
Hmm.
how is he doing this? I want to know how he's doing it. He just has like the ability to make an instant cut and go right to the end zone. And you ever see him on a post route? He
Yep,
beats his receiver every time. Double coverage, it doesn't matter. He
yep.
makes him look silly.
Yeah, yeah. Before we continue, I just want to mention something real quick. We have Ken Fry. Oh, never mind. Try our new sponsor, Monkey Cold Coffee, and use promo code OTB Sports at the checkout at monkeycoldcoffee.com. They make excellent coffee, a bourbon infused coffee. That's excellent, and I suggest you all try it. And check them out at monkeycoldcoffee.com. So all right. So basically, for wide receivers, I like the 3 guys like I said are Hyatt, um, Addison, and Zay Flowers.
Like what Zilla said, Giants won't consider Michael Mayer. He's going to be gone in the teens. Like he's a stud. He reminds me of that kid in Georgia, just tall, has a body to him, can
Yep.
catch and run and block. Um, if he's there, I'd be surprised. Like
I'd be
if the Giants picked him, I
shocked.
would be mad. But yeah, Quentin Johnson is the biggest and fastest wideout at 6. I think that's where the Giants are going to go. I really do believe it. I wouldn't be mad at the pick. I really
No,
wouldn't.
absolutely not. I
But
love that.
you got to remember too is I just had the coffee earlier. Excellent stuff. Yeah, it's delicious.
Yeah, it's
And the
excellent.
bourbon infused chocolate coffee is just amazing. My wife makes a cup every morning. She actually does a cold brew with it, and
Yep.
I'm not much of a coffee guy, but wow, like it tastes just like a smoothie.
Yeah,
Like, it's like a milkshake.
I don't have to take my coffee and put hot chocolate anymore. I just have that instead. That's what I used to
Yeah,
do in the winter time. Put hot
it
chocolate in, so
really
it's
does
kind of
taste
like
like a hot
chocolate
chocolate.
infused. Now I can
So
just have
good.
their coffee instead. So
Man, when I want a good aroma in my house, I just open up the bag, throw a couple beans on the stove, and just like let the stove go.
yeah,
But yeah, it's what we said. Going Quentin Johnson to TCU, that's not a bad pick. It's not out of the realm. But you know, can we get? Like I said, I want somebody behind DJ. I don't want Tyrod Taylor.
yeah,
Especially with the absence of offensive line, we don't know how you know we don't know how to how do I say we don't know how Evans is going to regress or you know gain ability. I guess you could say how he's
yeah,
going to improve. So he has been taking his training very seriously.
yep,
Now, what I'm happy to hear, and I want to tell you this, I've been following up with people who are with the Giants and a couple of the guys who are on the training staff. Every wide receiver on that offense is out with Daniel Jones in Arizona right now.
yeah,
So they're all getting reps in right now. They're getting familiar with each other. This is what I want to see. I don't want to see this in April or April and May. I want to see this in March and February,
Yeah,
and this is how long they've been doing it for.
yeah,
Odell went out there for a couple of weeks. I've heard because he
yeah.
lives in Arizona. He
Hmm.
went out there, threw some ball, caught some ball from DJ.
Yeah,
So even though he might be out of the running, it's good to see he's with an experienced running wide receiver,
yep,
especially who helped Shep find his way.
yep,
Barkley's also
yeah,
comfortable with. So it's always good to see, him take that extra step and get that training going. Say, hey, yeah,
yeah,
I'm the captain. Meet me out here for some reps. Let's get some reps in.
yeah. Exactly. It's good to work. I mean, even though Odell needs to work anyway, if he's gonna be playing for somebody. Yeah, I mean, he hasn't played in how long? Like a year, like a whole season and a half,
Here's some change.
like a year and a
Yeah.
half. He hasn't like even played on a football field. Levinson says, "Ever could use some monkey cold coffee right now." You know,
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, yeah. Well, I've just moved new houses, so I've
yep,
been so busy over the weekend,
yep,
so I haven't been sleeping much. But yes, I could use some coffee. Thank you. I appreciate that, Zilla.
absolutely.
Not that, just my allergies also. So you can see me wet my face. Offensive line in the first round or safety?
Yeah,
No, not safety. No, I would say more quarterback. I think that's more of a need.
yep,
They said Dane Belton coming into his own. Monroe played well last year. Also,
yeah,
I think these guys proved that yeah, we're third stringers, but in this defense we can play like first stringers.
yep, yeah,
But like
yeah.
think about it, like go ahead, Dave.
I- yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that cornerback is definitely a need. I just don't know if the Giants feel they have enough depth on the interior line also. So I have a
Yeah,
feeling it's going to be like around like pick 57. I think that's where they might take an offensive lineman instead. I think
I
they're
say move
really,
up.
yeah, they can move up, but it depends on how far you move up. If it's only a couple spots and it's the player you really want, like if it's one of those players in their top 5 on their board, then I would say do it. But if it's not, I would say take the best player available. And I don't know if a interior offensive lineman at 25 would be the best player. I'm thinking more cornerback or a wide receiver. If the
Yeah.
cornerbacks they want are gone, they'll go wide receiver. If it's the
I'll
other
tell you
way, they'll
this:
go cornerback.
the problem is they always say this: running backs and safeties don't go in the first round. You don't pick them, even though we did, and I'm happy with the pick.
Yeah, not
You
really.
don't
No.
really pick a wide receiver or a safety in the first round. You safeties are a dime a dozen. There's 10 good safeties out there. It's one of the easiest positions to play on the defense.
Hmm.
So all you gotta be is real speedy, and you stick to your design.
Yeah,
So, that's all you really do. You stick to what your job is. Cornerback is more man to man. That's more challenging. Linebacker, you gotta be able to bull rush and fall back into coverage and cover tight end. That's a harder job. Uh, Defensive end, you're about 40 pounds lighter than a dude across from you, and you got to beat him somehow.
yep,
If you're in the middle of the defensive line, you got to stop that run and plug up holes.
yeah,
So I figure everything on defense is harder than safety.
yeah,
So, like you said, for me, and plus safety, you're the last option. You're the last hope.
yeah,
So you get to see the whole field when the other defense players don't.
yeah,
They only see what they're in front of them. You see the whole field. So you see things develop before anything. That's why most safeties get a lot more picks than quarterbacks.
yeah.
And
I definitely think cornerback is smarter. I want a physical corner that can play man. You know, I want someone that could, more of a shutdown guy. On the other side of Jackson because I think they just really need a. If they could get a better quarterback, you could really Wings defense will be so much better. You know, maybe someone that could cover a tight end. You know, because the linebacker can't always cover a tight end. It depends on the scheme you're in. You know, if you blitz, you want a guy that could cover really well. That's physical. I think that's what Wink Martindale really likes.
yeah, and I'm happy that we were able to keep Wink and uh, yeah, guys. If you're a fan of any other sports teams or you know we there's a team we don't cover on this network. hit us up on Out of the Box on Facebook or Twitter. Come talk to us, and we maybe have a spot for you. Maybe start a stream of your own.
Yep.
So hit
Yeah,
us up.
absolutely.
But for me, like I said, Quentin Johnson, really good. I wouldn't be mad at a wide receiver.
Not at all.
I'd be mad if they went like, you know, if they went like, we want a linebacker.
Fuzilla says you need a safety that can knock the socks off an escaping right. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. I want a guy physical that could defend the run and like a physical corner. That's why some of the corners I was looking at are physical, not finesse, more
Yeah.
physical than finesse. I think
Well,
that's
if you
what
want that, look at Dave Melton. Dude has one of the hardest hitting safeties I've seen in a
I
while.
like him. He
I
caught
mean,
on
he really
fast.
does. He wraps up well. He has rarely any missed tackles.
Yeah. Miko
So
says the Ronnie Lott days are
uh,
over now. I agree with that. I agree with that.
right,
You like to be able to hit like he does. I wish.
yeah,
You
right.
know.
Ugh, allergies, man. I leave my eyes itch. Ooh. But yeah, see, yeah, I figures it, man. But like I said, with all that, man, I said I'm ready for this draft. Like, we will be going live on the draft, all out of box.
Yep.
So we all will be there going live. We will be on the week before also talking.
Absolutely.
Starting off the week before the draft, we will be, getting into it more and more, and we'll be going back to weekly shows. So that's really what I'm excited at. But like I said, for right now, with the acquisitions we picked up with all these, signings, the biggest one being the Dale Waller trade, of course.
Absolutely.
Um, Tight end Sweeney, I think he's gonna be a good, swing out tight end, kind of like what Bellinger does. Give Bellinger some little less reps. That's why I don't see them going Mayer because
No
like they'll
way.
have
I mean,
great.
it doesn't make sense. Like I would love to get like a really good tight end like that, but I think getting Waller tells me there's no way they're taking a tight. There's no way. If they did
Yeah,
trade for Waller, then I would say yes. Yeah, on
yeah,
Out of the Box Sports Network, April 27th, we're going to do the first round live. The entire first round, you'll get our reactions and stuff like that. For all teams, it should be a lot of fun. So come check us out the 27th at 8 p.m. Let's see. Says, Bo also known as Life Wazilla, really wants you to trade Danny Jones to the Vikings for Kirk Cousins. He loves Kirk Cousins.
listen, we already got one Kirk Cousins in the division,
Yeah,
and
no
that's Dak
thanks.
Prescott. We don't need another one.
Yeah, no,
No, I
no,
was
thank you.
listen. I was the only one on this network that said draft a quarterback number one
Yeah.
in the first round.
Yep.
I was the only one saying if DJ wants $40 million a year, get rid of him.
Yep.
And I was the only one on this network to say it, even though that's the market for him.
Yep.
And I knew this was going to come up because I didn't like it. They were going to compare him uh, to Lamar Jackson. How come Daniel Jones got paid when Lamar Jackson didn't? And because their careers have been totally different.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. Because while Daniel Jones is playing, Lamar Jackson's not. There's a big difference. Guys need some bruising linebacker guys. Guys have so many great linebackers over the years. Yeah, but it's like the linebacker positions change from the
Yeah.
Ray Lewis days and the Brian Urlacher days. Those guys had no coverage whatsoever.
Yeah.
Now like you have to be able to cover, wrap up, and you got to be within the 250 to 260 range.
Mako says Braves tied up 3-3, and Life with Zilla said he would take Danny Dimes over Cousins.
See them head to head.
Yeah.
I would take Danny Dimes. I think Danny's starting to get a little bit more respect because of how much work he puts in. He's starting to get a lot more respect around the league. I think he's like sixth in the conference to look at.
Yep.
Or top, he's in the top five. He's like top five QBs to look at this year in the conference, which is cool. That's good to look at. He's starting to finally get some respect. I just think his ceiling is not as high as I would like it to be. His ceiling for me is like Donovan McNabb.
Yeah.
Like he's good enough to get you there, but is he good enough to win it? I don't think so.
Yeah, I just want to take 1 second to mention something on the show here.
Yes, yes,
Our
yes.
host Ken Fry of the Batcave has Not Your Average Janes, the softball league. So donate to them. Any equipment. Yeah, Not Your Average Janes softball organization built on leadership and dedication to help the girls strive for greatness. Feel free to donate whatever you can by messaging Meiko Spencer at OT Box Sport. Yeah, check. They take donations, equipment, balls, bats, gloves, cleats, all kinds of stuff. So, support them. Ken Fry, has an excellent show. And so it's Not Your Average Janes. So, help them out if you feel generous. They're always looking for some help. So,
Here at Out of the Box, we are family, and that's family over there. We would love for you to donate anything you could, anything matters.
Meiko
Danny
says
Fall,
Danny fall down over 35. Says just. I think he's referring to when he fell. He ran like 80 yards and he fell.
over 35 years, his ass was tattooed for tattoo. I'm not doing a tattoo. You can kiss my ass.
Oh,
I'm
no
not doing
way. I would
anything.
never get a tattoo. Absolutely not. I would like
Now I
shave
say,
something in my
now I
head
say
or
this.
something like that.
I'll say this, and he'll have like a 40, touchdown season, and
Yeah.
Paul will be like, "Well, you could have got me a tattoo." No, no, well, I'll never
Oh
get.
man.
See, as soon as I ink those words to paper,
Oh, I don't like to
it's just a
bet.
countdown before I get a tattoo.
That's why I don't bet because it could just always. But just cut your hair off is not bad. At least it wasn't. Deb
Yeah,
just says, I think a Dak on you or a Danny on me." Get his face,
nah,
Paul. Get his face, like on
no.
your on your chest or something, or like on your arm, on your leg. Like put it somewhere where someone will see it.
No,
You know
I'm
what
not
I'm
gonna
saying?
be. I'm not gonna be. I'm not gonna be Sal from Impractical Jokers
Oh, I'm never betting
with
that
Jalen
ever.
Smith on my leg. No, it's
Oh
not
my
happening.
god, they're insane. Some people are nuts. Some people just don't care. They all make the
Yeah,
most ridiculous bets, but I don't bet because I know it can backfire me or like to talk that much trash. So I know being a Giants fan, it always backfires on us. You know what I mean? You never want to jinx them,
yeah, it
whoever they
does.
are.
The
You know
Miracle
what
in
I'm
the
saying?
Meadowlands. I'll never fucking forget. I bet that game. I bet my father that I would wear an Eagles jersey all day
Yeah.
if they lost. It's 38-10. I'm like, oh, 31-10. I'm like, cool, we're up.
Oh
We're
my
done. This
God!
is
Don't
done.
remind me.
Right? My dad calls me 20 minutes later. He was like, yeah, check the score. It's like 38-31. I'm like, you're bullshit. You're lying. You're
Deb58
lying.
boy says, "Do we have a picture of the loser photo on this network?" Just asking. Inquiring minds want to know. Oh no, I know it's coming.
No, no, I don't think we do. I think, oh, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
knew it. I knew it. He's gonna rub that in like the whole time. You know he's gonna do that. You think he's gonna let that go. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just like it's all right. It's all right. It's
Yeah,
all
yeah,
good fun. You know.
yeah. I'm getting back for that. Trust me. But
Somehow, some way, right?
yeah, some way. I got to figure out some way to get them back.
Yeah.
Yes, just some
Yeah.
way.
Right.
But I'm just, I'm hoping that the Cowboys start off like 0-12,
Oh, I
just
wish,
so
but
like,
they're not gonna be like they're probably gonna like 6-1 to start or something like that. I hope we have a good
I'm
start like we
hoping.
did, and then have a good second half. You know.
I'm just hoping they start off really, really bad because I'm gonna
Yeah.
take every voice clip that we receive from the Tower of Power, the Asian Persuasion, and
Uh,
Cowboy Dave.
Dead Boy says that's why we are family here at Out of the Box Sports.
Uh, I
You gotta
cut
have
my
some
hair.
fun
If
and
anybody
ride on
doesn't
each other
know,
sometime, right?
if anybody doesn't know, I made a deal with Paul or Mahiko, I should say, and I made a deal that if Daniel Jones got over 35 combined touchdowns running and throwing, that the loser would cut their hair.
Yeah,
Well, let's just say he came in 12 under that. So I ended up cutting my hair and I was going to donate it, but it was too short to
yeah,
donate. But I was going to donate. I made a donation to Locks of Love
yeah,
in his place for $50. So I did that. I'm man of my word. My hair is just not growing back.
yeah.
But It's all going good. I like the bet. It's something else fun. Something that you guys can track over the season. Me and Paul will make a bet, but I'm not gonna make it that severe everybody can because every week we just say that
Yeah,
he was just
exactly.
quit. It won't be fun in games when the Rangers get beat down in the first round.
Well, you better stop
Hey,
talking crap about my Rangers.
listen
You
here.
know,
I don't care about the Rangers. I'm not a
he's a Leafs fan, so Baker pitchers. Yes, Paul has been paid. Yeah, that guy's gone. Forget about that guy.
Paul was taken by the Yakuza for gambling debt.
Yep.
So his older brother Michael now runs the network.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, like I said, man, coming into this draft, I'm really excited. I didn't follow as much of it as last year. Like I've been super busy, but I've been trying to keep up with like, who we're looking at taking and not
Yeah.
who's going to be taken around us because this is the first time we're not even going to get a top 10 prospect in the last like 5 years.
Unless they fall, unless they somehow fall, but that's okay. They had a better season. So
Yeah,
you're not gonna have as good a pick, and it's not a bad thing. Says Miko says, I heard he had an inside trade on Korea baseball. They found him. Wow.
uh, you got to talk to the regime about that.
KBO, I think it's called something like that.
Something I think Otani was on it too.
Yeah, I've actually watched that sometimes Korean baseball. Sometimes. Back when like during
And
COVID they
Paul
were.
would bet on anything. Paul would bet on Mongolian archery.
Yep, it doesn't matter. I wonder if they're betting on curling.
Probably does. But anyway, like I said, for me, I really do believe that it's going to come down to the interior line. It's going to have to. I really do think that's the main focus. And I can see them trading down, especially with Quentin Robinson. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Uh, doing what he's doing. And I want to see his pro day. I want to see him, how he does. I'm gonna look at his pro day a little bit better, see how he does. I'm gonna look at some more footage because him and Zay Flowers, they're contemplating on dropping.
Yep.
So if it's that much, is it really much to go first round center and then go Hyatt in the second round?
No. If he falls, no. But one of the receivers could be there because it's a wide receiver deep draft. But they struggled so much on the interior line last year. Like they seemed to not be
Yeah,
able to figure out. I mean, they had Bredesen at center, but then he got hurt. Then they had Gates a little bit. Then they didn't want to play him. So you never had like the same unit on the inside. You never had someone consistent next to Evan Neal to really,
yeah. Well, at least
it
we
needed to
got
be
like
next to a good player.
Hyatt.
Otherwise, your deficiencies will show. So I really think they need either a guard or a center. Having a really good center would be an excellent choice for them because it solidifies their offensive line. Maybe he could, you know, you know,
Yeah,
help out the guys on next to him. That's why I
yeah.
went center a couple of
So
times.
with what we picked up so far, do you think our record improves or unimproves this year, or it goes back to
Oh,
what it
what's my
was?
left with those is my prediction: Giants take a linebacker, safety, or quarterback. I could see that happening. I took a linebacker like 3 times in the box. I did, or it says, or maybe an edge rusher. I was always looking at edge rusher as well. Um, there's a real good. It says Baker Spencer. Problem is, like you said, you're not looking for a slot receiver. Only 2 wide over 6 foot in this seat. Yeah, and one or two are gone. So that's what I'm saying. Like in the draft stock. So me, if I could, I think Hyatt isn't like 5'8". I think he's a little taller. I have to check.
Yeah,
The guy from TCU, Johnson,
yeah.
Quinton Johnson, I think is his name. He's a good wide receiver, but they really need like a really like solid weapon, and I think you get one
I wouldn't
25.
mind a late round running back either.
Oh, I took
You know,
the Tulane running back. What's
yeah,
his
not
name?
bad, not bad.
It's like Taji something. Supposedly he's a scat back though. He's not like a power back. He's like a
Yeah,
fast, elusive back, but
yeah.
he's very talented.
I wouldn't
You're
mind
not,
a smaller back, like a Pollard size back.
yeah,
Like I really wouldn't mind that, especially in a later round, because you're gonna find gems, dude. And I think uh Beavers was a gem. I think he can come back and play. They have
Yeah.
a lot of hope in him in playing. And if that's the case, we hit on 3 late round picks last year.
Yeah.
I mean, Daniel Bellinger, Dane Belton, who I was high on coming out. Um, I was still, if Aaron Robinson can get it together, we'll have not one, not two,
Uh,
but three.
Leland Lynch says Giants need a shutdown quarterback like the Maryland guy. I was looking at him, the Maryland guy. I think at one of my drafts I took a guy from uh, from like Mississippi State. I took a guy from Syracuse. Like I don't remember off the top of my head because there's so many names, but there's a lot of good corners. Like Mako says TJ said Giants should most definitely improve. Problem is the rest of the division. Even the Skins will be much better as well. The Skins, the quarterback was really their only issue. They get some consistency at that position, they'll be a much more
Yeah,
dangerous
but you
team
gotta
next
remember
year.
something. This is a offensive driven league.
Yeah,
Defensive, coaches don't really last any longer.
yeah.
What is Ron Rivera? A defensive coach.
Well, he could focus on the defense now. That's the thing. That's what he needs to do. Rather
It
than
didn't work with
everything.
Shermer there. It's not going to work with anybody else there. That offense needs a young, coordinator. That's different.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see how they do. It's going to be a
So,
tough. It's going to be a tough division, but I think the Giants can improve. Some people say they may take a step back, but I don't. I don't see that happening because they improved at the linebacker position. They improved their secondary with McCain. I haven't really looked at the guy from the Lions. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. I like the Roche signing and some depth. So I think they're going to be a better team. I think they need to score more points.
yes,
Says,
we need
yeah,
more games like we really need more games like the Indianapolis game.
yeah, we got a comment here by Life with Zilla. The Redskins defense can bang. That's right. I think they're good. It says they just need to stay healthy, which has been an issue. That
Oh,
and quarterback.
last year they lost Chase Young and fell apart. They have 3
I think they're
first
good.
round picks on that defensive line.
Yeah, Sweat.
There's no reason they
Hayden.
lose one of them and they went to shit.
I
Their
think,
problem is not just offense. Their problem is defensive scheme.
but the problem is how much was their defense on the field last year because of their offense kind of wasn't great.
Well, when you keep bringing, they're just as bad as Indianapolis. Don't bring in anybody who's getting rid of anybody.
Yep.
Instead of doing what they did 10 years ago or 12 years ago and going and putting out some future draft picks, if you have the defense to win now and you have 2 good, wide receivers and an okay running back, make the run for it. Put out 3 draft picks, get to the number 1 spot, get your quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how it is. Like,
Yeah, but I do think, TJ was saying, that the whole division is going to be tough, regardless of how the Redskins are. It's going to be a tough division, and the Giants have to improve on offense. If they don't get a good weapon,
I think it's going to be a tough
that
division, but a
area,
weak conference.
yeah, I agree with that. But
I think the
you
only
got to win your
conference that's going to
division
give us a
games.
challenge
hmm
is the NFC North.
Yeah.
Oh, just speaking of Cowboy Dave already, man. You think he's talking, he shows up. It's like talking to him about the Candyman. Say his name too many times, he pops up.
Mako Spencer says Johnson's is 6'3", and Jigba is 6'1", Hyatt is 5'11". I think Jigba is the best wire. He just doesn't have the best speed, but everything else he's great at. And Jigba, so Leland Lynch says the IL linebacker is a nice and intriguing prospect. I can't remember his name right now. I almost took him a couple times in
Jack
the
Campbell.
box I did. Jack Campbell, that's it. Jack Campbell and Simpson from Clemson are 2 solid linebackers, I think. I was looking at both of those guys.
It said, I want the kid from Wisconsin or the kid from Minnesota. I want that center because
yeah, he looks
look how good. Yep, see,
yeah,
I agree with you. Zilla. Cowboys disgusting. Get it out of here.
I agree. Leland says thank
But
you.
thank you,
You're welcome.
Well, yeah, like I said, I think us picking in the later round, it's a breath of fresh air, but it's like, man, we can't get a top pick now. Like,
well, we'll see what Shane has now that he's got to deal with the lower part of the draft, and I think Shane is an excellent.
Well, he
So
picked
I
from
think
that
he'll do
position.
great.
He picked from that position. Like how many times with Buffalo? You know, even he was an assistant. How much
Yeah,
of that was like? I'm starting to see a lot of that was him, and
yep,
a lot of the playmaking was Dayball. Like they lost their two best guys, and did the Bills regress a little bit? Kinda, yeah. It's
yeah,
like they regressed a little bit on their passing. It got a
yeah.
lot sloppier. Their playmaking got a lot worse.
So we've got a couple
So
comments here. Levertzilla says Campbell hits like a brick shithouse. Hell yes, Leland. Yeah, that's what I want. I want like an old school physical linebacker who'll knock the hell out of you. Dave Euro says, "Hey Evan, your
thank you,
hair's
Dave.
growing back. Looks good." It does. It don't
Thanks,
look bad at
Dave.
all.
And they let
TJ
us know,
says,
Cowboy Dave.
defensive areas must be able to stop the run, not just the pass. Well, yeah, because especially if like I know some Eagles fans say they want to take a running back, and also with Pollard, Dallas, with Barkley, for the other teams. Hold on, bring that comment up that Life with Zilla made. The Giants will definitely look at some receivers in this draft. I'm sure they already. Oh, absolutely. They're probably looking at like 4 or 5 guys easily. Leland says, Leland, Micro says, Leland, what's teams you support always looking to expand the brand? Well, did I lose Evan? I think I might have lost Evan. Yeah, yeah, Robinson in Washington. That was who I was thinking of. Yeah, I think I lost Evan. I think I'm by myself now. Let's see. Hey, Miko, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going, man? Just thought
I,
I'd chime in here since everybody hates the Cowboys. I think I make an appearance once in a while.
oh yeah, yeah. Get out of here. Get out of here now. I guess we lost Evan. I guess something happened. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think he lagged out there, so I'll just join you for a little bit if that's okay
Yeah,
with you.
absolutely. Yeah,
All right, great,
absolutely.
great, great.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So let's see. We got another comment
Okay.
here. Leland says the Falcons. Yep, I know a couple Falcons fans.
Leland, are you a Braves fan as well? Because that's what we're asking here. Even though Dan's a Giants fan, I'm a Cowboys fan. We do love the Braves, man.
Yes, we do. Yes, we absolutely do.
Definitely.
Let's see. We got some other. Yep, Dirty Birds. Yep. Let's see. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm going to see Falcons soon. TJ says, yeah, he froze like Danny Dobbs on a safety blitz.
Mm-hmm.
Dario says, have a great show. Got to roll. See you later, Dave. Have a good night. Have a good
All right,
weekend,
Dave, have a
man.
go, brother. Have a go, man.
Absolutely.
I'm a Raider spy.
A Raider spy. Thank you for Waller. Yeah, I think the GM for Waller. I hope he stays healthy.
Oh, I guess he's not a Braves fan. Okay, it's okay. It's okay.
Oh, I think he's a Dodgers fan.
Dodgers fan. Okay. Well, hey, listen,
Yep.
man. Listen, we're always trying to expand the brand here. You know, I love your time is coming hopping in here. So if you want to start a podcast, let us know, man. We're down to create visions of every team out there. That's the goal. So you're more than welcome
Absolutely.
to join the family here at Out of the Box, man. Reach out to me personally. So let me know if we can help you out there, man. Appreciate you chiming in.
Yeah, I think he asked me earlier about something. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
I told him we'll see. So I'll have to talk to you. So we'll see.
Okay. JD1 says he wants Darren Waller back. Well,
yeah, you already did it back. As long as he stays healthy, I'm happy. I hope it's not like I hope like the Giants replace the turf. I hope like something else doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I tell you what, he's a great pick, Dan. If he can stay healthy, man,
man.
that was his bugaboo back in the day. He can't stay healthy. Number one, if he can
He's
stay
healthy. He's 1,000-yard.
he's
tight
exactly
end.
right. I mean, coming from
Yeah.
what he did, I don't want to say the word really, but an addict, where he was homeless to an addict, and his, what he did to get back on the field, he earned his contract. The only thing with him is his health.
Yep.
If he can stay healthy, it's a great asset.
Yeah, Leland says he loves this show. Thank you very much.
Appreciate that. Make sure you subscribe, on all our channels out there. You're already on YouTube. Thank
Yep.
you very much. Thank you for that. We appreciate that, man.
Oh yeah, I think Meiko's jealous of this because like I live in Cowboys country. I hate him. He lives like very close to Dallas.
Oh,
right
you know what
there,
the funny thing is?
right outside
The
Dallas.
funny thing is, I told you this before, but I actually almost moved to Dallas 2 years ago before I moved up here where I'm at now. Is either
Yep.
Vegas, where I'm at now,
Yep.
or Dallas, Texas. I love that place. But speaking of, I want to say something real quick. Speaking of,
Sure.
not your average James, real quick. This is Ken Fry right here, is calling us. Not I bleed blue too a little bit, but different blue. But
Yep.
what's up, you blue bastards? That's our toast we talking about. Not your average James right there. Great sponsorship. So listen, if you can donate anything out there to them, great organizations teaching young girls to strive in softball. Please reach out to us here personally at Out of the Box. All the money doesn't go to us; it goes to Ken Fry and his organization. Not your average James. Like I said, here we are family. We do everything for our family. If someone's in need, we always help each other out here. It goes a long way. A penny, a dime, a nickel, whatever you can donate, it goes a long way. So once again, I appreciate everybody, trying to help us out there as well. Thank you.
Absolutely. Let's see. We got another comment here. Leland says this year the Cowboys make their Super Bowl run. Mexico would love that.
Leland, I'm going to tell you right now, 27 years is going on this year, and I've been saying it the last 27 years. I still stuck on my banner up here. It says 5 times. I'm still waiting. So if it happens, it happens. I'm turning 52 this year, and I want to see it, but I don't know, man. Honestly, as a fan, a true fan, I don't think it's going to happen, honestly.
Yeah, we didn't even go that long. We didn't have that long of a drought.
Yeah.
Between 90 and 07,
TJ said my daughter used to leave in Frisco, Texas. I made sure she sanitized before I left. Hey, listen, that's one of my Cowboy, fans down there, and my friends down there, and even though they're not Cowboy fans, I go down there. They made me use the outhouse. I didn't think they were still out there, but they make me use it too. JD1 says, "Congratulations, Giants. Walker's a good. Waller's a great tight end.
Yep.
Josh McDummy is trading everyone away. I hope the Giants have a good year. Take care."
Yeah, I mean, so too, man.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. JD1, man, I know exactly how you feel. Josh McDaniels is a true dummy. He's a good OC, but everywhere he's went to be a head coach, his record is not even. I mean, it's way below 500 as a head coach.
Yeah, he's like Joe Judge.
Yep.
Same record.
Yep. Scott Mullendick says, "Here we go, Steelers. Here we go." Hey, Scott. Where do you, first of all, Scott, where do you live? I actually live in between Pittsburgh and Altoona. So let me know. Listen, hey, I'm in the, Pittsburgh area.
I have a question for Scott, though.
Mm-hmm.
What does he think of J.C. Hessenauer, the center?
Oh, that was just traded to you guys. Okay. Yeah, great.
Yeah, he just traded us. I just want to know what he thought of him because I don't know much about him.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he was good for Pittsburgh or not. So that's something, if he's a Steelers fan, he might know.
Truthfully, I mean, I don't even recall the name, honestly. Like when you told me about it, I really didn't watch film on him. So I'd love to get that from JD1. Leland said, "I will definitely donate." Hey, thank you so much, Leland. We appreciate that, man. Like I said, here at Out of the Box, it's not just, even though I started this 11 months ago and I have 11 people on the network now, we're family. We do everything for each other here. And, we're all family. So we like to help each other out as many cases as we can. So I greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Ken Fry says, "Rumors are that Waller wasn't 100% focused on the football anymore and wanted out. Who knows?"
Oh, I wonder why.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Mm-hmm.
Maybe they just not run well. Maybe Giants are a much better run than the Raiders are.
Mm-hmm.
TJ says if he played online for Pittsburgh, he's been well schooled. That's what I'm thinking. Like, Tomlin's a good head coach.
Exactly.
And he wouldn't have started 2 straight seasons for them. He played over 300 snaps before last year, the 2 prior years.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes me think he could be a starter for us.
Well, you know what, Dan, what I'll do during this week for you, I'll do my homework for you. I'll go talk to the Pittsburgh Steelers fans up here because that's all they are. That Steelers fans. I'll let you know next week.
Yeah, I'd like to sign because it's something they need. Your offensive line was horrible last year.
Exactly, yeah.
Just bad. Bad.
Scott says it's about 2 hours. He's in West Virginia, about 2 hours away from Pittsburgh. Hey, listen, I'm in Johnstown. If you're ever in the area, man, you're a friend of mine now, so my door is always open. Hop on over, man. We'll have a barbecue in the back.
Absolutely. I've been to Burkettstown, PA, which is close to West Virginia, southwest Pennsylvania.
Ken Fry says,
as far as I've been.
Mm-hmm. Yep, great. There we go. Appreciate it. Don't believe the hype about Primani Brothers. Primani Brothers sucks, TJ. Okay, I've had that food, and I tell you what, I've yet to find a good cheesesteak up here where I'm at, okay?
Yep.
Yet to find a cheesesteak. I walked out of Primani Brothers, and everybody told me, you got to get the Roethlisberger. I think I was sick after that when I got home. I honestly was. So gross. So gross.
Yeah, the only place I've been to in Pittsburgh is...
well, there's your answer. There's your answer from Scott. JC is a decent depth, but he's not a starting material. There you go. There's your answer.
All right. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's why I think the Giants could go center in
Mhm.
the draft. I really have a feeling the center could be. Scott says, "Cool, go Mountaineers."
A West Virginia fan. Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. TJ agrees with me. Yes, they do
Yes,
suck.
they do
Yes,
suck.
they do
Yes.
suck. I'd rather go to what they have up here is called Sheets. I'd rather go to Sheets and get a sandwich from there than eat it from Mini Brothers. Honestly.
I always heard about them, but I've never had them.
You know, they're okay for certain things, but when you're around like a Wawa constantly, you know, you feel Wawa. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
mhm.
Let's see. Joe Tippmann is the best center, he says.
Yeah, I mean he's nasty. He's nasty. He's definitely nasty. I mean the draft board. I mean there's in your draft board you do have who you want.
Yep.
He's one of them up there that I have top center as well. I have Skronsky from Northwestern coming out. I have Paris Johnson coming out as well. Those
Yeah.
are the top three people that I really want to go look at. But you're looking at top 10 material here, honestly.
Yeah, I like the guy
you're looking
from
for a fun player.
Minnesota, Smith.
Smith. Okay, yeah.
Like Schuster Smith or something like that.
Mhm. Yep.
He looked really good to me.
Mhm.
Another guy I like is Torrance.
Okay. And the thing is with Wisconsin, I mean,
Yeah, Wisconsin too. Yeah.
Leland, if you're a big college fan, check us out on Wednesday night at 8 p.m. We do a college football frenzy show. Right now, we switch it to the pros. We're doing every division in pro football right now, but we usually talk college. I'd love to have you on there and talk with it. Well, but where'd you go, Dan? There you go. All right.
Yeah.
But Wisconsin, you can't go wrong with that draft. I mean, you look like, let's go back to the Cowboys here. You had Travis Frederick, okay? Then you went out and got Tyler
I
Byers,
like him.
you know, even though he had the injury, the health condition that he had. But you're looking at Wisconsin used to be coined the O-line university. I mean, you go back to Ron Dane, you go back to Corey Clements out there. You're looking at these running backs who didn't pan out in the NFL, but in college with that offensive line,
The offensive
they got
line
you
was
drafted. Right.
monster offensive line.
Yeah.
Just railroaded people, just graded over guys. You know, I love. Since TJ says everyone should go see a game in Pittsburgh. It was a great experience, even though the SOB Michael Vick fumbled on 2 early. We lost. Oh my God. Oh, that was painful. I actually remember that game.
Yeah.
I've only been next to it. I've never been in it. I've been to PNC Park for a concert, but not a Steelers game. It's a nice stadium. I like it.
I've yet to be there for a Steelers game. You know, I do have Penguins tickets. I do have some Pirates tickets, but I've never been out for a Steeler game yet. I mean, I honestly want to do that because the stadium is beautiful. Even though
I like the open end.
Even though it's not called Heinz Field anymore, it's called AccuSure Field now. Which is it'll always be Heinz Field to me, no matter what.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm like, oh, it's Heinz Field. You know, it's cool when you drive into Pittsburgh, and it's like on your like the rivers that I forget what river it's on your left, and you see that when you drive into Pittsburgh, and you can see that both stadiums like right next to each other.
Yeah.
And then the first time I drove into Pittsburgh, it was like the way they built it, like all over there. They have a park over there where they have concerts every year, like right next to there, called Point Park, where Three Rivers used to be. But TJ says my problem with Wisconsin running backs, they always run against Big Ten defenses. That's a great point.
But if you look at it, they've had solid running backs in college, even though they ran against Ohio State, Penn State, you know, all these Big Ten teams. Those running backs put up. Look at Ron Dane's numbers. Look at all these running backs that had these numbers. They put up these numbers in college, but when they get to the pros, it's a different animal. You know, that's why I coined, you know, Wisconsin as O-line university. I mean, you look at Notre Dame becoming tight end university, and it used to be O-line university as well. Penn State linebacker You know, certain teams are getting coined, you know.
Let's see that.
Oh, we got Ken Fry here. Ken Fry, I'd love to go out to West Virginia or Pittsburgh to see the backyard brawl between the Mountaineers Panthers now that they're playing again. Yeah, that's one of the college games that you definitely have to see.
That'd be great. That's probably a great game to see.
Yeah.
There was actually a defensive tackle from Pitt that's supposed to be really good.
Yeah, he's very good. I mean,
really explosive. Like supposed to be really solid.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, speaking of what Ken Price said, you know, like games, you know, Dan, like, you know, we're talking college and football here. We go out plus we go everywhere. You know, it's like the Giants, Cowboys, Giants, Eagles, you know, games like that, the rivalry game. Yeah. Just like what Ken Fry said there. I remember last year I was blessed enough to go to Blacksburg to see, oh my God. Oh, the Hokies play. Hokies played Notre Dame. And even though Notre Dame is my team, I could care less about the Hokies. But just visiting that stadium was something that I was blessed enough to see. You know, going in there and hearing Enter Sandman, and prior to the game, that was something I was like, wow, this is insane. This is like one of my bucket list things to do.
Oh, it must have been awesome.
Oh, it was insane. Yeah. I mean, I thought I actually thought I was at a concert. I thought I was going to fall out of my seat.
Yeah, right.
It was shaking. It really was. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Oh, wow. What made it worse, I had to ride my Harley from Pittsburgh to Virginia Beach in the rain. TJ, speaking of Harleys, man, listen.
Oh, yeah.
You've heard of Thunder in the Valley, correct? That is actually in my area here. It's just like Sturgis of the East Coast. I believe it's coming up in June or July this year. We have it every year in Johnstown. Man, there's probably over like 500,000 bikers that come to my area here. Like my whole ground shakes, and I'm on the very top of the mountain, and I can still feel it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Leland says Monty Ball. Yeah.
Yep.
Evan says, sorry, guys. The storm knocked me out of there, man. Yeah, it's just like saying Danny Jones is going to run for a touchdown. Same thing.
Hey, ran for a couple versus the Eagles.
Yeah, he did.
Except when he fell.
But he still didn't get over 35 yet, though. Did he, Dan?
No, he did not get over 35. He was actually closer his rookie year.
He was, yeah.
It was closer.
And
a lot closer, actually.
Being a Cowboy fan, Dan, I thought, like, okay, you know what? With Dable here, it's going to be a little bit different offense. They're going to rely on the RPO. And every time Danny's seen that hole where he's running, I'm like, oh, man, that 35 doesn't look good for me. I thought I might end up shaving my head, honestly. But it ended on my end.
They really, for some reason, they didn't do it part of the season.
Yeah.
I remember, like, early in the season, they didn't really do it. They went away from it like a bunch of weeks in a row. But then towards, like, the last part, then they really started to use it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I would use it all season. Scott Molnick says, West Virginia is going through some lean times. I'm not a big fan of Neil Brown.
West Virginia, I mean, the Mountaineers, I used to love they used to have that run and shoot offense. I mean, to me, it was when I coach off football up here, and I'm more of a run and shoot guy, throwing the ball constantly, 4 wide, going back. And I used to watch their offenses, but it's not the same anymore. I mean, it's really not. I mean, to me, it's hard to watch West Virginia at times.
They used to be good. Like, their offenses used to be explosive.
Oh, TJ says, been there twice. Hey, listen, if you're coming up this year, let me know. Send me a friend. We're friends on Facebook or whatever. Reach out to me, man. Stop over. We'll have a couple of beers or whatever.
Yeah, I believe TJ loves to ride Harley, especially during the nice weather.
I won't ride
all over the place.
I won't ride a Harley with you. Yeah, I won't ride a Harley with you, but I got 2 crotch rockets up here.
Yeah, I would need one of those sidecars. That's the only way it's happening for me.
Well, Dan, TJ can put that on his car because I don't think you're going to be able to put a sidecar on a crotch rocket. I got.
No, I don't think so. I don't think that would be a good idea.
I have 2 Ninjas, so I don't think that's going to look good. A little sidecar.
Yeah. I would go flying off somewhere or something like that.
Especially when
you're going around a turn, I'd be like, what was the movie where the guy, it gets detached. Oh, Cheech and Chong, where he gets detached from the thing. Yeah, and he's like on a thing by himself, like it goes into like a house. Yeah,
especially the way I drive, Dan. You've seen my videos on Facebook. Like how.
Oh yeah, you like to go fast.
Yeah, there's nothing like going 135 on the turnpike, and that's normal. But Scott does say their offense is stagnant. I agree.
It's not what it used to be. I remember they used to score like 40, 50. They used to score a lot of points a game. I just remember. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think who was the quarterback there? Like before the year Jones was drafted, they were really good on offense. I forget his name. He didn't do much in the NFL, but he was good at West Virginia.
Wasn't Geno Smith there?
Geno Smith went there, but I don't know if it was 5 years ago.
No,
when Jones got drafted, like 4 seasons ago, like 4 or 5 years ago. I forget his name.
I know they just had a quarterback by the name of Will Grier there. He went to the Cowboys for a little bit, and I even loved how he ran the offense, but it's not the same.
Nope, it's definitely not the same.
But if I'm mistaken, did I get that right? I think it was Will Grier was their last
yes, that's it.
Yeah.
Will Grier.
Mm-hmm. He's with the Cowboys now in the practice squad. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
TJ says I used to ride to Thunder in the Valley, then go out to Gettysburg. Probably been there 3 times. Like I like Johnstown. It's like a throwback. It's it's a culture shock for me. I'm from Philadelphia for 30 years. I moved up here. A friend lives in Windber, and when we moved up here, it was a culture shock. And I live up on the mountain, right by what is this called? Roxbury Park. I live right there, right by the band shell. But it's a different nature, but it's beautiful up here. I enjoy it, But if you're ever in the area, TJ, man, my door's always open. Stop over anytime, brother. Appreciate that. I rode my Hurricane 1000 there 15 years ago. Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Okay. There's the name. Rich Rodriguez was the coach. Exactly.
Yep.
Because there was ties where, I mean, he was always being recruited. There was comments to him going to the NFL with that offense, but I don't think he ever went there. Of course, he never went there, but that was the days where you had the run and gun, a hybrid offense which spread the field. Now, so many times, now play like Baylor started doing it, teams like that. Then they started evolving more. Oklahoma was, the wishbone. They went to the hybrid offense. But West Virginia is one of those teams that, man, I used to love to watch. I really did.
Yeah, they were exciting to watch.
Yeah,
Will Greer. Yep, Will Greer. Yep, that was it. There were talks the Giants were going to take him. I wouldn't have minded.
You know what? Slovis, I don't know. I know he was at USC.
Because he was at USC.
No, I believe he went to Pittsburgh. If I'm not mistaken, either Pittsburgh or somewhere where he went to another school. Because they were talking about him actually, Will Slovis. From USC, because he was actually going to be coined the next Matt Leinart, Carson from USC. I mean, he was drafted in 8th grade to go to USC, to play out there. But then he transferred.
Yep.
But
now Caleb Williams is there at USC.
Oh, Caleb Williams is the prototype quarterback next year. We know that.
Oh, yeah.
Ken Fry says, Will Greer, West Virginia. Exactly. I mean, he's a great quarterback. I love watching him. Scott says, Pat White was legendary. I hated to see my boy Ike Taylor end his football career. Yeah? Oh, my God. Don't talk about that. Yes.
Yeah, Pat White was good there.
Ike Taylor was the
Steelers.
Mm-hmm. I mean, up here in Pittsburgh, you have legendary players. I think the whole city of Pittsburgh just shut down when Franco Harris passed away.
Oh yeah,
it was something like you didn't. Everybody was just so quiet. It was like a moment. You heard a moment of silence here. It was like a week of silence here, Dan.
Absolute legend.
Legend. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Ken Sy says 47 TDs, 4 interceptions in 2000. Exactly. He had one hell of a year.
He had a hell of a season. He was being talked about being taken high too. I remember.
Mm-hmm.
I remember there was talk about him.
Oh, John Kirwa, you can check him out with me every Wednesday night on College Football Frenzy, 8 p.m. What's up, guys? Joe, about Richie James signing with the Chiefs.
I like him. He was good for. It's the same one that was with the Giants, right? I think as depth he's solid.
Okay.
He had those 2 fumbles, but I like him.
Ken says he just transferred out of it. I knew he was there because I haven't looked at his name a lot.
Mm-hmm. Where did he go, though?
Yeah, Ken, if you can tell me where he went real quick, I appreciate that. But, yeah, Will Slovis, I loved him as a quarterback because he has size, a great arm. His problem was he got injured, I think, his sophomore year, I think it was, or his freshman year where he was playing as a starter and got injured, and he lost a little mobility. So I think, that was like a little coining tool in his progress. But
yeah,
Scott says, Pitt. I know he went to Pitt. I thought he was still there, actually, but hopefully somebody can tell me. TJ says it's amazing when you consider quarterbacks from Western PA. It really is. Yeah.
It's unbelievable. So many of them.
I'll tell you a name. Real quick. Dan, both of my kids went to St. Joe's Prep out of Philadelphia. 5 out of the 7 state championships, 5 out of 7 top 20 teams in the United States. My St. Joe's Prep. Both of my kids. But there was a name I remember. My son's sophomore year, we went to the state championship, and we played a team by Jeanette High School, which is right near Pittsburgh here. Do you remember their quarterback?
I don't.
Before he went to Ohio State, played quarterback.
Oh man.
Terrell Pryor. This kid was nasty. I mean, he ran for like
high school. He must have been unbelievable.
He was insane. I mean, single-handedly, he tore up the Prep. I think he scored like 4 touchdowns, whatever that game. Insane. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Now everybody's chiming in with the Sylvia's going to BYU as a graduate transfer. Ken Fry says yes. Sylvia's is at BYU now. I have a question. Now, wait, is he a Mormon? Because I know BYU is traditionally all Mormons, correct? Because they do have to do a tour of, overseas or whatever they do. I thought BYU was like a Mormon school. I never knew he was. Sylvia's was.
I don't know if you have to be to go there.
Okay. Ken, exactly.
Sure.
Terrell Pryor, exactly. Mm-hmm. DJ, not St. Joe's Hawks. Well, they are the Warhawks. They're not NCAA. We're talking high school, but I love it. St. Joe's Hawks. I wish they had a football team because I wish my son would have played there. But Dum went to a school, then quit school because of a girl. So we want to talk about that. Spend $100,000 on high school, gets a great scholarship, full ride, and then says I don't want to go to college to play football. But yeah.
Man.
But he did say yes. I know. I love the mascot from St. Joe's, man. I love it. I used to go down to City Line Avenue to go to the basketball games. This is when oh my God, what was their 2 point guards? I forgot what the hell their point guards are. One was in the league is a crack addict now. What's his name? You know what I'm talking about. Played for the Cleveland Cavs for a while. I can't think of his name now. Drawing a blank. Oh,
I can't think of it.
I forgot. If somebody can out there let me know. I mean, there was 2 point guard. They made it to the Final Four, I believe. God, I forget his name. 2 point guards. I forgot what the hell their names are. But yeah, it's crazy. But damn, man, listen, man, I appreciate you hopping on. Letting me hop on here for a little bit, talking out.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, I mean, me being a Cowboys fan and you being a Giants fan here.
Yeah.
There we go. Thank you, Delonte West and Jameer Nelson.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Thank you. I used to go to their games and watch them. Like, I'd never seen St. Joe's Hawks sell out games the way they did.
They were good, man.
Standing room only at times on City Line. People used to stand outside City Line Avenue for like 3 hours before the game.
And West.
Yes, Delonte West. Yep. Dan, you know what the scalpers are. I've never seen scalpers at a college game when St. Joe's Hawks was that good. They were out to sell tickets. Yeah.
That's kind of something you don't see, but man, Jameer also, but West really messed his whole life. My goodness, man.
He's playing in a.
I hope he's doing better, man.
He's doing better. He's clean now, but last I heard, he was actually playing in the Ice Cube League, the whatever that league is, the 3-on-3 league or something like that.
Oh, I know. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I wish him all the best. I mean.
Yeah. I mean, he's come a long. He's come a long way.
I saw that video of him, man. I hope Delonte West is doing well, doing better. I wish him all the best, man.
Mm-hmm.
He's great to watch in college.
He was. I mean, he had a good career, a couple years, playing with the Cleveland Cavs out there too.
Yep.
I mean, but it was like, I remember this, like the video you said. I remember looking at that. I actually seen it on TikTok. Some guy had it on TikTok. Like Delonte West, they went up to him like, "Yo, man, you need help?" He's like, he looks so rough. Like his beard was all over, unshaven. Looked like he had pee stains all over. I'm like, wow, how do you go from? And that, Dan, I just want to say, if you make $1 million, money doesn't justify your life the way it is. We don't see what goes on between closed doors. No matter what money you have, it can happen to anybody. But man, at least he's doing well.
I'm glad he's doing better. That's good to hear. I haven't really heard anything about it, but that's good to hear. He's doing better. He's clean. That's good for him.
Yeah. Eileen said Mark Cuban tried to help him. That's insane when you got a billionaire out there trying to help you. But I think he relapsed. It's a damn. I don't know if he redid it again, because last I heard he was actually trying out for one of not the Mark Cuban. I'm sorry, it's on the tip of my tongue. The Ice Cube basketball league, the 3-on-3, whatever it was, the Big Three. He tried out for a Big 3 team because they were having additions, and he actually was going to make it, but that's kind of bad, man.
Yeah, I still wish him all the best, man.
Mm-hmm. Money doesn't make you smart ass, Terrell Owens. Yeah, but it's a shame to say, man. Money doesn't make you smarter. It only makes you stupider. It
doesn't make you happy either. All the money in the world might not make you happy either.
Yeah. It's a true saying. Like, I'm not going to say 5 years ago I was married and I had so much money in the bank, and after my divorce it was all gone. I was left with $22 in the world. I thought my life was over. I'm not going to lie. People know on the network and our viewers, I tried killing myself twice. Tried to commit suicide twice. But, now that I recovered and everything, not drug-wise, never did drugs in my life, but now I'm so much happier with less money. I'm so much happier, Dan.
Exactly. It's about peace of mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have good friends around me, good quality, shows.
Yeah, but the way you got to think of it, it could always be worse.
Exactly.
Because I'm in a wheelchair, I can't walk anymore. I used to be, you always think about, I could have no arms or legs. Yeah. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I could, be bedridden, so it could always be worse. You could have no money, be alone by yourself, but it could always be worse. That's how I like to think of stuff.
Yeah.
It kind of keeps you in perspective, because I've been in situations where I've been down like that. So, gotta just think positive, and it's peace of mind is all it's important, no matter how much money you got.
Yeah, I mean, I always hear people say, oh my God, you have it so good, or you think you have it so bad. Well, there's always one person out there that has it worse than you do.
Oh yeah.
That person. So I always say, listen, don't read the front page of the book. Read the entire book before you wanted to talk about my situation. And that goes for everybody out there. That's why
Yeah.
here at Out of the Box, it's a relief to talk to, you, everybody on the network. Hell, we have 9 shows, and it's the best time of my days where even if
Yeah.
I'm on a business show, I can sit here and listen to my friends talk. And,
Yep.
that's the way it is. I mean, it's the best time of the life. Without sports, man, I don't know where I would be right now, Dan.
Oh man, if I didn't have sports, I think it'd be boring. Life would be boring. It's a heartbreak and stressful. Like the
Mhm.
Giants are ready to stress me out in the Braves, like TJ knows, and you
Yeah.
know,
Mhm.
Could be a Bills.
Yeah.
It could be a Bills fan. Oh man, I couldn't
tell you.
imagine going to 4 Super Bowls in a row.
I'll tell you a funny story, Dan, real quick.
My God.
Me being a Cowboys fan, 3 times they lost to the Cowboys. Okay,
Oh,
we
yeah.
already know that. And I remember one of my friends hasn't talked to me since 1994. Okay, when I said I was like, what was the kicker's name? Is Scott or something like that? I was like, man,
Scott Anderson?
yeah, no, Scott. I don't think it was Anderson. I don't think it was Scott Anderson. I don't remember his last name, but
Did
I
you
remember-
talk about the one that missed the kick?
yes, and I remember I said something to him. I
Was it
said,
a Falcon? Is that
No.
what you're talking about?
no,
Or are
he
you
was
talking about when
the Bills.
Romo messed
He
up
was-
hold up?
No, I'm not talking about the Cowboys. I'm talking about the Bills kicker who kicked wide left.
Oh,
Every-
yeah. Yeah.
I remember Scott Norwood. Thank
Scott
you,
Norwood.
TJ.
That's it. Yeah,
Thank
Scott
you,
Norwood.
TJ. Thank you. I remember saying something to him. I called him. I was blessed enough to go to 1 Super Bowl, and I was like, man, just imagine if you had a kicker that wouldn't kick wide left. And I said something. I shouldn't have said it. I was like, the next day I called him and I said, did you see the obituary? He tried killing himself, but he was a little bit wide left. Okay.
Oh my God.
I shouldn't have said that. And my friend
Oh my
that I went to school with, went to college with, has not talked to me in 30 plus years because of that comment I made.
Oh my God. I thought they're gonna lose. I'm like, all right.
And it
No one's
was,
picking up. Like, oh, the Giants are fucking.
and it was
screwed.
wide right.
They're done.
It was wide right, but I said wide left because that's how far it was off, and that's why he got pissed
Oh,
off.
man.
Yes. Mhm. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, like all the way around, and it's on the left.
Exactly. He missed it like a
Kicked it
total
like a
180. Like a
circle.
total 180. Exactly. Yeah. But then, I mean, I was listening to your draft, man, and I kind of like it. I mean, I like it, but just like you really opened my eyes to it because I don't think you guys can get a wide receiver early. They're going to have to go late. But do you
Maybe.
really want a small slot receiver again?
No.
Do you move up? Because I don't think you guys can move up. Because moving up nowadays in NFL, you're going to pay a hefty price. We all know that.
Well, yeah, what are they going to have to pay and how many assets? I think a trade down makes more sense. If the receiver, it depends on, I don't know who Shane's targeting. If one of your top 5 guys are there, you got to take them, right? That's
Mhm.
what's going to determine, like, what's their board going to be like.
Mhm.
TJ says too soon.
Mhm. I mean, to me, there's teams that can control this draft. Okay, the Seahawks can control this draft. 2 picks. Detroit Lions can control this draft as well,
Oh, yeah.
and the Eagles can control the draft. I mean,
Some of those teams could trade those picks,
that's what I mean. I mean, I'm looking at a team in the second round that's right in there.
Mhm.
They're looking at just, hey, I want to get back in the first round. So if you're Howie Roseman, I don't even know the GM for the Seattle Seahawks. I really don't care.
Yeah.
If I'm sitting there in the war room and I'm calling like, hey, I want the Seattle pick. What will it take me to get back into that 20 spot? Because
Yeah.
many of these teams want to get back in that first round just to
Yeah.
have that first day draft.
Yeah, when you think about it, when you think about it, the reason I said Giants trade down, like, say that the player the Giants want isn't exactly there,
Mm-hmm.
and a team wants someone at 25.
Mm-hmm.
You get an extra second round pick. Maybe you make that move. You move down just a little bit. Oh, that's what I was going to say, TJ. We need to get you a pal talk. We have like an NFL room. We always talk about. All we do is talk about
good.
football. That's it.
Definitely. I love it. I'm sports talk 24/7. Dan knows I never sleep anyway. Like
Yep.
he texts me at 3:00 in the morning. I answer in a second. I don't sleep anyway, so I just don't want to keep you guys up on the pal talk because I don't sleep.
Yeah. I think like the room we have is one of the most knowledgeable rooms, about football. It says
Mhm.
he says not be sorry at least 2 trades out of the top 15. That's what I'm saying. Like if
Yeah.
you got 2 first round picks, like the teams have 2 first round picks, you might trade that. You move down a couple of spots and you get some more assets. Depending on where those picks are, you might be able to get someone might offer you a deal you can't refuse.
And you know what? Speaking
Improve
of
your
that,
roster even more.
Speaking of that, I mean, we did the draft last night, but we did the the college
Yeah.
football frenzy on Wednesday night, and we were doing
Yes.
we were doing the Seattle team, and I said Seattle. I don't think they're going to trade out because they still have holes. They need offensive line help. They still need that wide receiver, the third wide receiver after Goodwin left, of course.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to use both picks. But the teams that I really see trading out, one is definitely the Eagles. I really think they trade out one of the picks because Howie's a genius. We know that.
It's TJ's team.
Yeah, they're gonna stockpile picks either next year or the following year because they're set. Right now they have plug and play players. That's all they need. They have to regroup the defense. Of course, they lost corners as well. But I think the Eagles are definitely going to be a team that's going to trade out. But that's gonna hurt us being you being a Giants fan, me being a Cowboys fan.
Yep.
Them stockpiling drafts because they can only get better and they're younger. That's the thing that scares me.
Well, for the Cowboys and Giants, they're late. They're 25 and later.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
So so we'll see. I think some people says, why would you want to torture him like that?
Oh, I'm having second thoughts of joining this panel talk, man. I really am now. Leland says Jordan Addison will be there. Yeah, I think to me, I have Jordan Addison as the third-rated wide receiver.
I like him. He's short, but he can do it all. I took him in 2 of the mock drafts, and I took him twice. Mm-hmm. And 2 of the Addison, Hyatt. I didn't take Robinson because he wasn't there, and I also took I can't remember the other guy, but Addison's good. Zay Flowers.
I love Jordan Addison. To me, honestly, this is the way I draft. I'll go top 3 for me. Number 1, I have Smith and Jigba. I mean,
I love him. I like him.
Last year when they had Wilson and Olave, next year we already know the number 1 pick in the NFL, not NFL draft, but the number 1 wide receiver is Marvin
Harrison Jr.
And I don't know where he went to high school with. I think it was St. Joe's Prep.
I don't know.
Yeah, St. Joe's Prep. Yeah. I watched him his freshman and sophomore year light up the league when I used to live down in Philadelphia.
Oh, he must have been unbelievable in high school.
He was insane.
Oh my goodness.
My thing was
how good he is now. He's probably
my thing was, Dan, how can this string beanpole play football in college? He put on about 35 pounds, looks insane. And the funny thing is, in week 9 of last year was his first dropped ball.
It's pretty good.
Insane stats on him.
Good hands.
To me, I think number 1 is Smith and Jigba. Number 1 to me, which will be gone. He's probably going to go 3rd or 4th in the draft to me. But then I have Quentin Johnson, just like Sean said right here. He's he's 6'4" wide out, good strength.
That I like. See, that I like. Give me size, give me route rate, give me speed. I want a target and put him with Waller. And Robinson's coming back, and you get I think he'd be excellent for the pick.
And the thing is, with Quentin Johnson with TCU, you can move him into the slot too, and he has that speed, slants and breakouts. So that is a clear number 1 to me.
If he's there, I'm taking him.
It depends on what offense you go to. Okay, like for the Cowboys, I would take Quentin Johnson. I would move Gallup on the inside and put Quentin Johnson at 6'4" on the outside with me. For you guys, same thing. I would take Quentin Johnson for you. Other teams, I would go in Jigba. Speed. Yeah. He has speed. He has breakout speed.
He doesn't have the top end speed, but he's fast enough.
He's fast on his breaks. He doesn't have the
great route runner.
He doesn't have
good
the
hands, smart. Yep. I like him, Jigba. I mean, I think he'll be gone, but I says, we don't sleep either, Paul Eileen says.
All right, well, you haven't met me yet, Eileen. Listen, you follow me on Twitter at 3:00 in the morning. You might get something on Twitter.
He sent a message to our group chat. It's like, I got this parlay. It was 1:48 in the morning.
Well, I was watching Korean baseball.
And I woke up and I'm like, it's Mako just saying something about parlay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably wasn't the first one of the night either.
No, I actually got to check my parlays now.
I have been looking. Just don't throw something to the TV.
I haven't looked at them yet. Yeah.
TJ says, I think Pittsburgh's going to do everything they can to get Addison. Oh man, I think it'd be a great pick for them. But they need another weapon too. They traded a couple of guys. They need a weapon.
Yeah. I mean, I think if they get him, it'll be okay. I mean, they have a lot. They have a lot to get in the draft as well. I mean, I think they're still missing Juju Schuster as well. That guy out there too.
I like him. Some people hate him, but I like him.
Even with Claypool, I mean, Claypool was a piece to them. A great wide receiver. Didn't fit the system, but I think they went. Well, you got to remember Roethlisberger went downhill after his years too, so they were looking for a new quarterback, the next great thing. Now Pickett is here. I've seen shirts up here, Pickett is God, and I only thought Pittsburgh fans would say Crosby's God, but up here they say Pickett's God too. So I don't know. They had so much invested in the kid.
There's some more comments here.
John says someone is going to ask us for the 10th pick, then to be great, not just give me a pick. See, that's what scares me. I mean, you guys don't really need that 10th pick. You guys can stockpile picks and move back because you have 2 picks. That's what scares me as well.
And be even better. You can
Exactly.
solidify your roster even more.
Exactly. That's the thing.
I think a trade back would be smart. I don't think it'd be a bad idea for them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Listen to Eileen. We never sleep. Okay, then I'll fit in perfectly. If you guys welcome me, I will join it if I get the invite. No problem. I will definitely do it. Yep. Sean says Rasheem White, another SMU wideout. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many late picks out there that really.
There's a lot of wideouts. There's a lot that are good. There's a guy from Ole Miss, Mims, Mingo. There were a couple of guys in the SEC.
There's a guy named by Mims in the draft too.
Yeah, Mims is somebody took, and then there's another guy I took as well from the SEC. It was like Ole Miss or something like that.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing, Dan. I mean, we talk about a lot of drafts here. We talk about all these drafts. I hate when people like talk about drafts and they just look at a draft board. To me, there's a thing called
I can't do that.
You have to pass the eye test. You know, like
Dan,
you know me. I put pictures on Facebook in the group chat every Saturday during college. I got my 130-inch TV, wall TV on the screen. And I'm watching 4 games constantly.
I know what you're talking about.
I love doing that because college football is, to me, 11 games of the year to the BCS championship. You're playing for an audition every game you're playing.
Yeah.
In the pros, you get paid. And in college, you're performing every week for an audition to make it to the next level. So there is no plays off ever. And that's what I love about the game.
Well, I know what you mean by passing the eye test, because I was looking at some guys like Phil, and I'm like, I don't like that. You can just tell if a guy gets pushed around. Like someone was showing highlights of some guys, and they weren't in any pressure. They're getting manhandled. I'm like, I don't know if I like that. You know, you could usually tell by the eye test how good a player might be.
Mm-hmm.
Like if the jump he has, you know, if he's getting manhandled, or if he's manhandling other people, or if he's chasing everybody down all over the field.
And that's the other thing, Dan. A lot of people look at, before we get into more comments here, we appreciate all the comments. We'll get into them in a second here. But my thing is, like, when you watch a game in college and you say, oh, this guy got manhandled, well, you got to look at the team he's playing against, because a lot of people say, like, oh, he got manhandled against Alabama and Georgia. Well, my God, Alabama and Georgia can go up pretty much against some NFL teams and beat them with the skill that they have. 5-star recruits, athletes every year. But to me, it's a scheme. This player might not fit the system here with my team, but my God, he might fit into your system perfectly. That's the thing that people don't look at. Looking at schemes, a 4-3, a 3-4. Are you a hybrid corner? Are you a safety blitz hitter? What are you? A gap filler? What are you? Guards, are you a pull guard? Are you a man-on-man guard, which I call up here a hat-on-hat? What type of person are you? But we're getting to the comments. Steelers have much bigger needs in wide receiver.
I get that.
They do.
I agree. I totally agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
They definitely.
The amazing thing is, no matter what, Thomas only had he's had a losing season in like 17 years.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like last year,
unbelievable.
Being up here, Dan, and the talk of the town. Well, I live about the way. The newspaper that I get, I read it online, and they were saying, like, even fans up here were like, "Oh man, Tomlinson, is he losing control? He's done." I was like, "Well, listen, he hasn't had a losing season in God knows ever." And that team turned around and played when they were 2 games under 500. Turned around the team. They didn't play. They knew they weren't making playoffs, Dan. They played for Mike Tomlin, and that's the type of coach that has earned the right to coach in the locker room. Number one, they play for. He's awesome.
Amazing head coach. That's the one thing they got going for him. As long as they got him, they just need. Let's get some of the other comments here.
Mm-hmm.
I'll bring up since they played together before he transferred to Pitt.
He's talking about Addison.
Yeah, Addison. Yeah, that's where that's right. I was actually looking at Addison last year.
Mm-hmm. Addison last year, I mean, he transferred. He transferred to USC, and his numbers at USC with Caleb Williams were off the chart. I mean, these two had a connection last year. When you watch these two play, it was like a scramble drill. It was just, to me, it reminds me of like a Rodgers playing. Aaron Rodgers. Even though some people hate him, I love watching him play because when he scrambles out, all it is just eye contact. To me, to you, Dan, like, hey, roll right, roll left, go to sideline, and it was just that was the connection Caleb Williams had with Addison last year. To me, he's a route runner, and his mind thinks like, okay, I got.
Well, that's what I mean. He's really good like that. Like he's really good at like changing direction, tricking quarterback. Bring up that comment by Sean about Mims and Mingo.
Where? Pull it up.
Yeah, I'll pull it up. This one right here. Yeah, Mims out of Oklahoma. I took him in a mock.
Mhm.
And I took Mingo of Ole Miss, and they're both fast, but they're both really shifty and good route runners at the same time.
You
Like
know
from
what?
what I can tell, they're both good.
To me, the only wide receiver out of Oklahoma that I truly like is CeeDee Lamb. Not because we have him, but you look at all these wide receivers out of Oklahoma. Hollywood Brown. Okay, let's go back to him. He
Yep.
doesn't pan out in the NFL because you have speed, but you got to remember these DBs and corners, and even safeties in the NFL, they're running 4.3s too.
Yeah.
So that speed is not going to help you. I mean, you need a big route runner, a big sized guy.
Well, that's what I mean. You need a guy that's shifty, a guy that could like fake out, like just as you got good footwork that could, do that those fake one way and go the other way.
Mhm.
And that's the kind of guy I want. I want someone that's shifty will have a good IQ and trick a defender.
See,
not just use speed.
I like the speed, but I like that big wide receiver where I like a possession guy.
Yeah.
My things are a wide receiver that I look at. Number one, you're mentally smart. You can run a great route tree. Number one.
Yeah.
You can run a 9, a 7, or a 3, or a slant, whatever you want to run. Number two, you have great off the ball speed. I don't care about your back end speed because nowadays, Dan, we're old school. We talked about this in our group chat about basketball, old school versus new school. In football, when was the last time you ever seen a bump and run cornerback play on the ball? Never. They're always 5 to 7 yards off the ball.
Yeah.
To me, your breakaway speed not being touched is right there. If you can get past your defender right away, you got him beat. That back end speed's not going to matter because he'll catch up to you if he has the speed. That 5 to me is more.
Yeah. Like Leland said this. Now Leland says that Quinn Johnson's 4 his 40 time. See, I don't care about his 40 time. I like his size.
Mhm.
If he's a good router, has good hands, I like him.
Mhm.
So the Giants have speed.
And that's the thing. Like we talk about, the draft combine. Honestly, Dan, I love football. I'm up 24/7 in football. But honestly, I don't watch the draft because to me, hey, listen, man, anybody can play great in the draft. Look good on 7-on-7, throwing the ball to just one person on your route, catching a ball, your time speed, your shuttle run. That draft makes that player his paycheck bounce. That's the check that gets cashed. Because to me, it's just like with the quarterbacks with the Wonderlic test. Okay, I don't care if you score great on a Wonderlic test. You ain't playing anybody on a Wonderlic test.
No.
You don't read a defense on a Wonderlic test. You're sitting there answering common questions. Number one, to me, the draft is so bogus to me. I'll go back to a name in Dallas Cowboys, Scott, the corner.
Yep.
Who broke the world record in the broad jump. Okay, wasn't even talked about in the draft. He boomed up so many draft boards, and the Cowboys took him the first round. Why? Because of his draft stock. Jamarcus Russell, great pro day.
Doesn't matter really. It's more about
Mm-hmm.
do they understand film? What's their character like?
Right.
It's not easy to play in the NFL. It takes a certain type of person. You have to have like a certain warrior mentality, and some players just don't have that. Sometimes it's that, sometimes it's skill. Usually it's not skill. Usually it's mental.
Mm-hmm.
They say the game is mostly mental.
Exactly.
And, TJ says, just don't use your real name when you log in.
Oh, I can make up a name?
Yes.
Oh, hell. How about Asian persuasion? Because that's what I'm called.
You can make up whatever you want.
All right.
I think that one's all right. I think that's fine.
No, that's cool. I appreciate that. You guys invite me. I appreciate it. I love talking football. Let's get into some more of the comments here.
Yeah,
he does. He definitely. You look at Oklahoma wide receivers; they're built for speed. In that, there.
Yep.
And to me, Leland, I want to ask you a question since you know a lot. You've been talking a lot of college football here.
Oh, he knows a lot of college football.
Oklahoma, since Lincoln Riley left, do they change this offense now to more of a pro style offense, getting away from these run and gun speed? Kyler Murray, even to the Baker Mayfield days, Spencer Rattler days, the Caleb Williams days. Do they go away from what Oklahoma football is? Spread the ball, get it out quick, run and gun. Do they go to a more pro style? That's my question to you real quick. That's my question to anybody out there.
Yeah, that is interesting to see because they've been the same run and gun forever.
Mm-hmm. Sean says, watch out for Hyatt and Hightower from
I like Hyatt. I picked him a couple times in a couple of mock drafts. There's so many wide receivers. Like, you really got to read the scouting on them.
Exactly.
But Hyatt, he passes the eye test for me.
Mm-hmm.
He may not be really tall, but he passes the eye test.
Mm-hmm.
Rising says, not a fair wide receiver. I think it depends on who you are. There's some teams that's all they need. That's really the one thing they need.
If you're looking,
teams, no.
if you're looking for a certain type out there, like me being a Cowboys fan, okay, I would like Njigba because if you have Gallup on the outside, and we already picked up Brandon Cooks with the slot receiver, we lost Schultz, but I'd like to have another hybrid in the middle, and Njigba fits my bill. He's a good slot receiver for me.
Solid.
for you guys might want to go after a Quentin Johnson being 6'3", 6'4". That's what you guys need. But
Yep.
to me, there's these sleeper wide receivers that fit your scheme, not your build or any team's build, the NFL's build.
Yeah.
It's your team's scheme. I think that's
Yep.
where a lot of people on the mock draft are like, this guy's the best, that guy's the best. Of course, we're all opinionated, but we try to look at our team versus the NFL as well.
Yep. Depends on where they go. Depends on how they're used.
Exactly.
That's what I see. Like for some teams, it's not going to be worth nothing.
Mhm.
You know, let's see, Scott Moldick says
I agree.
Steelers need to solidify both lines quarterback and inside. So do we. Like it's a linebacker and interior O-line for us.
Now, where do the Steelers pick? I haven't looked at it in a couple of weeks here with the draft. Where do
I
the
have
Steelers pick?
no idea.
Scott, if you can let us know. Scott, if you can let us know where the Steelers pick, because after you tell me that, I got a question for you that I've been seeing rumors about a possible move up for a certain player. I don't know if you give up the farm for this projected franchise linebacker, and his name is Will Anderson.
Oh, I like Will Anderson.
I love the kid.
From Alabama.
Yes, I love the kid.
Oh man, if he went to Pittsburgh,
I
like him. He's good, man.
That's why I wanted to ask Scott, because how far would you move up to get him? That depends where you're at. If your Steelers are sitting pretty low, mid draft pick, I don't see you moving up.
First,
I don't see you moving up to a projected 4 or 5 spot for a linebacker to give up a projected probably first round, second round the following year. I want to see what you guys think about that. Because it fits in because he says he wants defense. I just want to ask him where he's at with that one.
Yeah.
Tomlin is just another great from Norfolk, Virginia Beach. I never knew he was from down there, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know where he was from.
Yeah. I don't base potential ability on college unless it's Ohio State quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
what I said.
That's the funny thing. I did an article a while back, and I said, I was like, you think about these quarterbacks. I mean, let's talk about them. Let's talk about these quarterbacks. Which one was the really last one besides Justin Fields that had a good year, I want to call it. Arm's not there yet, but mobility-wise is there. But if you think about it, let's go back to Bobby Hoyer. Was the really last one to actually have a okay career maybe in the NFL? If you think about it.
It was all right. Was it somewhere worse? You know,
some
converted to wide receiver.
Well, Terrell Pryor was a wide receiver when he came to the NFL. That's
exactly.
Cardale Jones projected. Let's talk about the Heisman Trophy winner. Forgot what his name. I can't even remember his name now. Little short kid from Ohio State that won the Heisman Trophy winner as a quarterback. I forgot what his name was. Can't even remember these guys, you know.
Many.
Yes, Ohio State's quarterback has a scary reputation. I agree. You know, Mike Mamula, a prime example of draft number 1 set.
Oh, I remember Mike Mamula. Oh my goodness.
You know,
BC guy. I think.
Yeah. Sapp had the weed shit. Okay. And Mamula was a combine beast. Exactly. I mean, that's like I said, the combine cashes your check right then and there. You know, if you have a great combine, hey, you know what? Go out and buy your mom and dad a new crib because you're getting paid right away.
Well, look, Randy Moss fell because of his character issues. Look how great he was.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he is drafted.
He fell way down, but he was unbelievable, pro.
He was.
Hall of Famer.
Exactly. You look at like off-field issues. We're talking about Jalen Carter here with the off-field issues. How far does he drop?
Discipline. I think his problem is discipline because he gained like 9 pounds in between the combine and his pro day. It was like I don't know why. Like,
yeah, I mean, as a general talent he has, you know, coming off that the little what we'll call it, not a hit and run, but his charges down there with his driving incident. But listen, man, you're a young kid, man. Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, if I'm 19, 20 years old and I'm the next best thing since sliced bread coming to the NFL, I know I'm getting drafted, and I know I'm getting a paycheck, Dan. You're damn right I'm going to do some stupid shit out there. You're damn right I am. Okay, I'm young, I'm stupid, but the NFL, that's why I love you watch training Hard Knocks a lot. I used to watch it all the time. I love how the generational players come in to speak to the young kids. Hey, listen, stay off Twitter, man. Stay off this. You go to the game, you go home. Go home, man. Don't go out there with these little fly girls, whatever. You don't do that. Okay, because everybody is out there looking for the next paycheck from you. Okay, go handle your business, do the right thing. That's what I love seeing. That's why I love old school players who help them out. Like so many players have made millions and are broke now. It's crazy. It's crazy.
We got a bunch more comments here. Let's see. We got this one.
I think we skipped some, but we'll get back to them. when teams were still running around 40s. That's the thing too. I mean,
Yeah.
you look at now as generational talent where let's go back to the Barry Sanders days, the Emmitt Smith days, even though you had the big three, but now it's run and gun, man. If you don't throw for, see my thing, Dan, okay, back in the day, like Dan Marino, yes, he was a run and gunner. Okay. He threw
Yeah.
the ball 80% of the time with Mark Duber, Mark Clayton.
Mhm.
That's what they did. That was before its time, generational football. But now
Yeah.
you look at it, if you don't throw for 5,000 yards, you ain't that good as a quarterback in many
Yeah.
people's eyes.
At least 4,500.
You know? Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
At least that. But that's like if you're like a real good quarterback, you should have 4,000 or more and 35 touches at least.
Yeah.
It's just not a running league like it used to be. I mean, it depends, but it's just different nowadays,
Mhm. And that's the thing, like, even with fundamental football up here, I coach Pop Warner, and I was blessed that my kid went down to the Pop Warner National Championship, in 09, he played down there, which I showed you the video before.
Mhm.
And even up here, I run a run and gun. I have 4 wide receivers, 1 back, every play. But my first 5 or 6 plays are scripted. Every one is off tackle run, off ball run, ISO run, because you know what? Then I run play action just to see the linebackers, how they demonstrate what they're going to do against my team. Because to me, just like you said right there, you have the run and gun, like 47% rushing. You have to be 50-50 because you set up the play action.
Yeah.
Oh my God, your quarterback can have a field day. Like Dan, I don't know if you were with our group last year, but last year we were scoring. My average point score for my team was 53 points.
Yeah,
That's in Pop Warner,
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. But yeah, let's get into some of the comments here. Where are we at? We'll start right here. Mike Bola should have been a chapter in the NFL's book, Draft Day Bombs. Every GM should have read that chapter. There's been, what, Dan? We're actually going to be starting a new show in about 3 or 4 weeks here. We're going to debate show where we're going to talk about topics. I think we just came up with another topic. Let's talk about draft busts too.
Yeah, something we'll talk about in the future.
Yeah, definitely. There's so many of them out there. I mean, every team I think has one. Honestly, when they lost to Kansas, meant a change must come.
Oklahoma. You talk about Oklahoma?
Well, yeah. I mean, Oklahoma. I mean, they used to be solid in football, but when you lose to Kansas State's on the rebuild, but when you lose to Kansas, and I think the Kansas Wildcats were I think they were 1-9, and you lost to them and you got blown out.
Something like that.
That's pretty bad,
Yeah.
That's Oklahoma football is not what it, and the problem is they're going to the SEC. They are not going to be able to compete in the SEC.
Not for at least the first couple of years, so they get good recruits in there.
They're going to
sometimes your pipeline's better if you're in the SEC.
Exactly, but you're talking about you're playing against Alabama, Georgia, Clemson. Okay, all
Texas
these
also.
Well, Texas is moving as well. There's going to be 2 teams moving over to the SEC,
Mhm.
but you're going to be the bottom feed of those recruiting wise because all Nick Saban has to do, all Kirby Smart has to do is walk in and say, "I'm Nick Saban. You'll play 4 years at Alabama, but I guarantee you a paycheck at the next level." Okay.
Mhm.
Oklahoma's coach, he goes in there and says, we are rebuilding. I can get you playing time. I want a paycheck, Dan.
Yep. Yeah, let's get to another comment here. Ryan says, Babula wasn't a bad player. Then he says, but was he worth the 8th pick?
No.
Mm-hmm. Nope. Definitely not.
I'm terrible at predicting draft picks. Hey, Scott, listen, April 27th. April 27th, that you want to see a funny show. We all watch college football. College Football Frenzy. I'm having all the guys on that show hop on the NFL show. But I think we were less than 30% on our picks last year live because
it's so crazy. What happens?
One pick. One pick can devastate your entire board.
Yeah.
That's not crazy.
You take one guy real high, it's like, whoa. I remember someone took the Raiders took someone at 4, the pass rusher, and it was like total surprise. Threw everyone off.
And my thing is, I tell my buddies, I was like, you have a better chance of picking March Madness than picking the NFL draft.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Mm-hmm. TJ said he was a 3rd round at best. Yeah, I would say 3rd round. I mean, that's what I would say. But it's hard when you're a draft picker and you don't know. You see this person in college, you don't know what he's going to pan out to be. Now, he probably should have worked at Wawa the rest of his career.
Yeah, right.
Eileen says 17 for the Steelers. Okay, now here's my question. Here's my question to Scott. You want linebacker. You want the prototype generational linebacker, Will Anderson. He's projected probably 4, 5, maybe 6 lowest. Would
Yep.
you sacrifice the farm to go get this generational linebacker from 17 to 5, let's say 6? Would you give
Yeah.
up next year's first round pick and possibly the year after second round pick? I just have a question. I wouldn't do it because you have so many holes. That's my thing. If your team has holes, you try to gain assets if you can't get next best player available to me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Scott says, I don't want the Steelers to move up. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. There we go.
Yep.
Yeah, I wouldn't do
say
it either.
stay where you are and take the best player. A linebacker could fall there.
Ryan Z says he was better than that. I guess he's talking about Mamula.
Yeah.
He had about 30 sacks in 5 years. Yeah, I mean, he did had a good career, but we're talking about the 8th pick in the NFL draft. You know, was he a generational player where you could say Mike Mamula turned the team around?
No.
Oh, we already seen that. Okay, we got it.
Yep.
Dwayne Haskins, another one. Thank you, Eileen.
Yeah,
Thank you, Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah.
But there was another one that won the Heisman Trophy as well.
Oh, it's someone mentioned it, Troy Smith.
Troy, thank you. Who was that? Thank you. Troy,
Leland,
thank you so much.
Troy Smith.
That's the one I was thinking about right there. Troy Smith, exactly.
Yep.
Thank
I
you.
can't think of his name because they have so many guys like that the
Yeah.
past like 10, 15 years, you know?
Mm-hmm. I love the position they draft wise. Steelers could pick up their picks and hopefully hit on home run players. Exactly. I mean, you're always going to get that diamond in the rough. You're going to find them out there. You look at these late draft picks. I don't want to say like Tom Brady-esque, you know, but you're going to find players in the second and third round. But you got to find players that's going to team fit your needs. You know, a lot of players and a lot of teams. Even myself, I say next best player. I always say that term, but when you look at it, what your plug and play players and what you need, sometimes is that the best idea. If that player's gone and you don't see anybody that fits your bill, you're sitting at 15, 20. Hey, move back and get you another second round pick. Do that.
Yeah, you get another impact player possibly.
Exactly. You have holes to fill. Why not?
It makes sense. Mm-hmm. You know, trading down I think makes more sense. Unless you need one player, you have assets.
Okay.
Says,
I'm a Falcons fan. To guarantee the Oregon cornerback I trade for and give up my second. I'm not sold on Christian Gonzalez. I'm really not. I mean, I'm really not sold on him. I mean, I think to me, honestly, Leland, this is just me speaking here, my opinion. That Pac-12, it's not what football is really about. I mean, there you're more of a finesse type offense out there, defense-wise. Mm-hmm. To me, I don't think he'll pan up against these big wide receivers in the NFL. I think he's overrated.
Maybe not.
I have him third, honestly, on my draft board as corners. I know a lot of people are rejecting him at, man, even like moving up to like a 4 spot, first corner gone. I just don't see it. That's just me, but I could be wrong. Hell, if I'm wrong, I'll be the first one to admit it, Leland. I'll be the first one to admit it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know much about him because I don't really watch a lot of Pac-12 football.
Mm-hmm. You can't measure hard. Look at Vic Beasley. He was a Falcon for 1 year now. Exactly, Vic Beasley.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
I remember him. He was good when he first came in. You know, but you know sometimes it doesn't work out. You know, I think if you don't have the mental fortitude to do it, they end up leaving the NFL.
You know, and speaking of heart, just like TJ said, I mean, I'll tell you what, Dan. I know you don't watch as much college football as a lot of people do, but
I watch a lot of it, but I don't know like all the players. Like I watch it all the time though.
Okay, there's 2 names out there that I wanted people's opinion on. It doesn't matter if we go 2 hours. Who cares? You know, that's the way we are out of the box. Once we get started, we keep going. But
should we bring Evan back?
I think he fell like Danny Jones did on the turf, but it's okay. Yeah. But my thing is, there's 2 names out there. Dugan from TCU. Okay, now let me just finish. Dugan from TCU, QB. Stetson Bennett, defending champs, Georgia. Okay, not your generational quarterback. But one thing they do, what TJ just said, they have heart.
Oh yeah, Dugan.
Where do they fit in on an NFL roster? Not the biggest talent. A floor general can be.
Yes.
Size-wise, can't be. But heart, where do you measure having a player like that coming to your team that shows that heart? I'll go against David and Goliath. I'll beat David and I'll fight Goliath. That's to me what I like to see. Where do they end up?
I would take Dugan late if I could.
I kind of like him because he's a prototype of that.
I like Dugan. Like he is a warrior, and I know Dable and Shane like that type of player. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think Dugan. I like Dugan. I think in the right situation, I think he could be pretty solid. He's not elite or nothing, but I do think he has the talent. And Stetson Bennett has been in the big games. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
He's not great, but he could be. I think both of them could be solid off court. But now the thing is, are they going to the right team? and they're going to have a good quarterback coach. Like we've seen that happen. A quarterback will come in the NFL, and he'll, he is immense talent, but he either doesn't have the right discipline or the right coaching staff.
Sure.
Some coaching staffs are like an absolute total disaster area. You know what I'm saying? And those players, I think, need time. But on the right team, I think I like both of them. I think they could be good quarterbacks if they go with the right teams. I just like that they're tough, their tenacity. They make a mistake, but then they still fight back and make plays. Like Dugan, I was very impressed with the way he played. He gave all his heart, and they played as well as they could, but versus a great team,
Sure. Yeah, I just want to see where I always want to see Hart stacks up against teams. Like listen,
yeah.
To me, what you do on a field when you show heart, man, I gear toward those kids because I love my practice team. When they play, we have 30-some kids on the team.
Yeah.
Everybody has to get some time in, but those players that come in day to day and bang with my starters every day, at the end of the game when we're up, I put them in a running back number one. I don't care if the kid's 150 pounds on a top of the line team. I put my kid at running back because you know what? I want to say, hey, thank you for coming to practice because you're what makes this team better. But that's just me. But let's get into some more comments here.
Yep.
Scott says last time Steelers traded him to Devin Bush, exactly, which he just got. He's got traded to where did he go? Seattle, I think it was. I forgot he just went.
But they picked him pretty high, didn't they? Devin Bush pretty high.
I just put on Twitter. He just got traded. I think it was.
I thought it was like close to the top 10. I'm not sure though. Mm-hmm. I thought he got picked like pretty high one season that draft.
Mm-hmm. Here's something to hear that brings tears to my eyes. Ryan Shazier. Okay.
Oh man.
Listen, he does a lot of guest promos up here in Pittsburgh. He's like an icon. He's on pretty much if you tune into the what it's called up here. I get every channel in the world, so I don't know what it's really called.
Yeah,
but
Shazier was good, man.
Yeah,
he does stand up guy too.
Yeah, he's one of the greatest people up here. Just his the foundation as well. But yeah, it's went downhill because I love watching him play.
He was good, man. Yes. Man, he came in the NFL. He was good. Mm-hmm. He was like that perfect Steelers linebacker. Ryan says Steelers are a real good spot from that Claypool deal. Yeah, I agree with that. You get assets and you maybe plug some holes they have. They have a lot of them.
Yeah, I think Claypool is going to be a good receiver, but I don't think he's on the right team with Justin Fields, honestly. If he went to a team where he could be in Notre Dame, I'm a big Notre Dame fan. At Notre Dame, I love watching him play. He could pinpoint
he was great at Notre Dame.
High point a ball anywhere he wanted to go, but I think he's with the wrong team right now. I really do. If he goes to a team where he doesn't have to be considered the number one, maybe a 2-3 wide receiver, go back to being that a plug and play player at piece wise. I think he'd be a hell of a talent because he had his breakout game against the Eagles, 2 TDs his first game.
Yeah. I think their number one receiver, the Bears, is going to be more. Who they traded for?
Yeah, DJ. Yeah, exactly. And I think that might benefit him. But you're working with an Ohio State quarterback too. It just really has legs. Justin Fields.
I'd like to see Fields. That's one thing he has to improve on is the throwing. Mm-hmm. He's a hell of a playmaker.
Sure.
But I'm interested to see with all the additions they made, how they really do.
And the funny thing, Stan, has when we talk about young players, okay, coming in from college, you're the man, and you come to the NFL, you still have a lot to learn. My thing is I tell all of my Bears fans, I was like, Justin Fields is great, but his IQ is not NFL level yet. I go back to the Cowboy game when Parsons put a hit on the ball, dropped on the ground.
Yeah,
Justin Fields let us watch the ball. A player like Parsons with the IQ that he has, not because he's a Cowboy and I'm a fan, but Parsons had the IQ to pick up the ball. Didn't hear a whistle, take off and score a touchdown. Why Justin Fields just looked at him like, well, where are you going? Why are you running the ball? That's the IQ.
You need a good IQ to make those on the fly. Players that make the play on the fly, those are valuable players. Let's get to a couple more comments here. This is also about the Steelers. The problem for the Steelers is they are still are close to the Bengals unless the Bengals get hit hard with the injury bug.
Yeah, I agree with that one too. The Bengals are still a cream of the crop. Their offense, but just like you said there, Ryan, the problem with them is their offensive line. They can't stay healthy. They can't keep Burrows up. If they solidify the offensive line through trades, off-season moves, and draft, I think they'll be cream of the crop for a while because we know Baltimore. I don't even want to talk about Baltimore. They don't even know who the quarterback is right now.
Yeah, I'm just going to go in a row here.
Mm-hmm.
So I go wide receiver line through his top 3 picks. Yep, and then he says, and then he says that Ryan says, build around Pickett, give him a chance. I agree with that. I totally agree with that.
With that one there, I think you go offensive line first. I mean, if you can get yourself on a Paris Johnson or a Skronsky, I think
Yep.
you go there. Because my thing is, listen, I don't care how great you are at a quarterback. If you can't stay upright, you ain't gonna throw the ball.
You gotta stay upright. That's
So
one
you
of
gotta-
the most important things.
You gotta- yeah.
Either moving your feet, sliding in the pocket,
Mhm.
shifting in the pocket. You got to be able to do that stuff. And one thing, go back, we were talking about Devin Bush. Scott said they traded up 10 spots at 10
Yeah, that's insane.
to get Bush, which is crazy.
I
There's
remember,
something crazy like
I
that.
remember watching him at Michigan. I mean, he was a great player, but to move up that far and sell your farm, that was even give up what they gave up. That's pretty bad.
And then I'm going to go back
we
we were talking about, says, I like the DD for Bowling Green too. Banks, I think, is his name. I like the guy from Pittsburgh too.
I haven't done a lot of research on the guy from Bowling Green, honestly. So I really
I haven't really looked at any of him. I don't even we don't even know names. Like there's so many players. There's so many players to look at. I like doing it as a backup for 2 years. That's what I'm saying. He goes to a team, sits a whole year. Maybe he doesn't have to play. Learns the system. Learns from a good OC and a good quarterbacks coach. Maybe he's got the quarterback room too. It's possible.
If he goes to the right team, I mean, like honestly, I even told my Cowboy friends of like if he goes to the Cowboys, let him sit 2 years. My thing is like if you have a quarterback, let's say like a Dak, and you go out like a Cooper Rush, that offense changed night and day. Dak's mobile, he throws the ball out of the pocket, run and gun.
Yeah,
and you bring a Cooper Rush, it comes a vanilla offense. I think with the right team, you get Dugan in there, let him sit for 2 years, let him learn the system. You know what? Hey, then you got somebody to learn the system. He's a practice squad player now, but when he's ready, you know the system, and you're in the right
absolutely.
team. I agree with
absolutely.
that.
TJ also said about Bennett. Did Bennett get arrested?
I don't know. I don't know if he did or not. I read something about it. I don't know if it's true or not, TJ. Honestly, I really don't. I mean, I've always been a Stetson Bennett fan.
I like him.
Being that he was a transfer in, basically like a walk-on in the system, he's proven. I mean, listen, man, BCS national championship 2 years in a row. Okay, he took a team. The last regards to him is like, okay, Bennett's a pocket passer. He can't run. Look at that BCS game against TCU.
Yeah.
He ran for 120 yards. Second play of the game, he had a 55-yard scamper, untouched to the end zone, blazing. I think right there, it was just like a big F you. Here's my audition tape. That's what I love to see. Kids with heart doing what they need to do on the football field.
Here's another comment by TJ.
Mm-hmm.
They had a DUI, but then so did Dak.
No, Dak didn't have a DUI. He got busted for COVID, having a party at his house for COVID. That's what it was. Okay. It wasn't the DUI. Maybe somebody else came to the party and got a DUI, but Dak was,
Dude says Georgia. I like Georgia. I've always liked them.
I'm a Notre Dame fan, but listen, my thing is like I love football. And I love watching Georgia because the way they recruit, the way they build.
Oh man, they're linebackers, they're offensive linemen.
I love scheme football. That's what I love. I love scheme football. To me, the only team, TJ, I don't know how you'll probably feel the same way I am. The only team that I can't stand that I'll root for versus anybody, 2 reasons, okay, is Alabama because I can't stand.
I don't like Alabama either.
Anybody in the world can coach Alabama with the 5-star recruits they have.
I agree with that. And
number 2, a lot of people don't know this. I bet $20,000.
Oh no!
You know this, Dan.
I know this story.
Alabama. I knew Alabama would win. I took plus 14 Notre Dame. I spent $1,200 on the ticket, $1,800 on airfare, $800 on hotel room. So this whole trip cost me basically $30,000 for a 2-day trip that was supposed to be. I left a day early because I was so pissed off, and I left at halftime.
Oh man! Someone said, Ryan says this about Bennett. He's too old to draft.
He's 26. He is
old. He's like who's that? The Weinke from Florida State. He was like 28.
Chris Weinke, yeah. Mm-hmm. He's like the Penn State quarterback. What the hell's his name? The one here. What the hell's his name this year? Nobody likes. Forgot what the hell his name is.
Oh my goodness! I can't think of it at the moment.
Thank you, TJ. You agree with me, Bama. Thank you very much. I cannot stand Bama.
I can't stand him either.
Mm-hmm.
I always root against them all the time. But come on. Teams always come up short. They always end up like scoring in the end or something,
Saving us from the West Virginias.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I'm not a Nick Saban fan. To me, I can't stand his damn Affleck commercial. I wish he would.
Oh my goodness.
I wish Deion Sanders would trip him and he would fall over. But to me, like I've always thought, like my thing is like, okay, yes, he's a great coach. We all know that.
Oh yeah.
Defensive minded, great coach. We know that. But my thing is, okay, you left Miami by a signing and said bye bye to you. I'm going back to the college ranks. But to me,
I guess.
But to me, let's put Nick Saban on the Sisters of the Blind school down the street and see how good he does.
Or Cincinnati.
Well, I'm talking Sisters of the Blind. Okay, we'll go Cincinnati. Well, Cincinnati's got a good team.
Not as good as Bama.
No, but Luke Fickell did turn around Cincinnati in a quickness before he bolted, to Ohio.
Syracuse.
Syracuse.
Or something. They weren't bad last year. They were actually
They weren't that bad. They were overranked on.
They almost beat Clemson and lost in the end.
Yeah, but Clemson was overrated, and so was Syracuse.
Oh, I agree with that.
But I'm talking. Let's send Nick Saban to the Sisters of the Poor and see how good he recruits down there playing on a rock field. Okay,
yeah,
it's going to happen. Number one.
We got another comment by Leland. Many QBs are bust because teams try to make a QB fit their system.
Exactly.
Rather than build around the QB's talent. Like that's what we were saying. I was saying about Dable and Shane is they were really Joe Judge had no idea how to use Jones. It's like they had no idea what to do. You know what I mean? And like I said, if a quarterback goes to the wrong school, you try to force a square, a square into a round hole, a square peg into a round hole. Okay, that just doesn't work.
I'll give you one. Right. I'll give you one right here. Since we're talking about, which is like what Scott said, they're going to a quarterback, building around him. Let's talk about a quarterback from Alabama. Let's talk about Mac Jones. Okay, he went to the right coach in Bill Belichick.
I agree.
But the problem is they never built around Mac Jones.
They have no weapons. They have a good wide receiver in how long?
Exactly. Let's go back to Randy Moss days, pretty much.
That's what I said about the Patriots last year. I'm like they'd be a playoff team if they score more points, and they just can't score points. And they also need to improve their offensive line, but they have no real bona fide weapons.
Nobody. You look at Alabama.
Did they sign someone this offseason? I thought they got somebody this year.
I didn't even look on him. I gave up on him because they drafted. I can't remember. They drafted Henry. They drafted Henry out of Arizona State 2 years ago and already let him go. Let him go. But here's the thing: you look at Mac Jones. Okay, great college career at Alabama. Sat the best in 3 years. 1 year lit up the NCAA records. Okay?
Good.
Waddle, Devontae Smith. Okay.
Oh man.
Jameis Williams as a sophomore. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about these receivers that he had. Okay. Then you go to a team where I even said I got into an argument with a lot of people in our group chat before, and I said, you give me Mac Jones any day over Justin Fields on the right team.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, I bit my words because, Fields had a good season. Mac Jones had a great season too, but it could have been better with the weapons if they surrounded Mac Jones with weapons.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's a smart quarterback.
Yeah, we got another comment here. I hate him as in Saban.
Me too.
Yeah, I just don't like seeing his face. TJ says, I would like to see the Cowboys and Bama have a joint practice and have the earth open and drag them both to hell. Oh, you don't like that one. Mako don't like that one.
I don't mind me.
That's TJ for you. TJ.
I could be the typical Cowboy fan and say, I love looking at that wall and that poster says 5-time Super Bowl champions. But I'm not like that.
At least the Eagles finally won one. TJ's ecstatic.
Yeah, but like I say,
I think they'll win one the next couple of years. 5 years.
Like I say, man, I don't know if you heard my Cowboy show about 2 months ago. I told this story about a blind squirrel that found a nut. Every blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while. You know what I mean? Even though my frickin' squirrel hasn't found one for 27 years.
Yeah, but who knew Nick Foles is gonna come in and play one of the best playoffs ever?
Hey, the thing is, when your team gets hot, man, it's getting hot at the right time. I don't care if you go 7-16-0. Look at the Patriots, man.
Yep.
You run into a team that gets hot. Your Giants, hey, you got hot at the right time. A wild card team coming in, you can do wonders for your team, man. Very simple,
Let's see. TJ has another comment here.
Oh, actually, I did, TJ. I actually seen 3. I seen one live. I was down there live one. I went to 2 parades. So, yeah. I've been a fan since 77, since the first person I met was Roger Staubach. So, can't call me a fraud.
TJ says, easy on St. Nick. I ain't trashing him. I think it was
Nobody's
unbelievable
trashing.
what he
Nobody's
did.
trashing. He got hot at the right time. I mean, look,
Yeah,
a
yeah.
clipboard quarterback got hot at the right time, took you to the promised land. And
I think it's unbelievable what he did, and
the funny thing,
he'll live in Philadelphia Eagle glory forever.
but the funny
So-
thing is, listen, he was a clipboard quarterback, got hot at the right time. But you look at his contracts after he got hot. He went everywhere, got paid everywhere, still getting paid.
He did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's see. Comment here. Marvin Graves. How long ago was that?
That's a while back.
That's
God.
probably might be before my time. No
I'll tell
offense.
you a time that I used to watch Syracuse play. I'll tell you a time when I used to watch Syracuse play. Donovan McNabb, Marvin Harrison Jr., Marvin Harrison Sr. You know, those days. I used to watch Syracuse. I used to love that connection. Yeah.
Oh, Syracuse was good back then. TJ knows him well. He's an Eagle.
Mm-hmm. The parade was.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's nothing like to
Absolutely.
me. That's why a lot of Cowboys fans. I mean, Eagles fans. I'll say this first. There's real passionate Eagle fans that I know. I gave you so much credit. And I felt for you guys. You know, listen, as a true fan, you know, maybe in 27 years, haven't seen one since.
Yep.
You know, the Eagles fans, you know what? The true Eagles fans that I'm not talking guys like, you know, you go to Modell's and buy a jersey because they won. I'm talking real fans. Those fans, like when I used to live in Philly, I used to live right outside of Chicken Pete's, right by Frankie Rickotman. All my fans were like, you go into the parade. Everyone that went by, I knew. I shook their heads and said, congratulations. Because those are the real fans that deserve a Super Bowl parade, a Super Bowl victory. You know what I mean? That's what I like to see.
Yeah, TJ says, that's it. I believe we're going to talk about McNabb.
Hey, I don't care what you said about McNabb. He was probably one of the best QBs the Eagles ever had, man. You guys surrounded him with crap, dude. Seriously. For what he went through, oh, man. I'm sorry. I love McNabb. I love McNabb for what he did, man. Seriously.
Leland Lynch says McPherson.
Yeah, McPherson. A lot of names out there you can talk about. I mean,
oh, yeah.
Man, jeez.
Talk about Syracuse for Jim Brown went there.
Yeah, that was before my days. How the freaking old do you think I am, Dan? Seriously.
I don't know. They had two great running backs, but he passed away of leukemia. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we'll get banned for that. Don't put that up. We'll get banned.
Okay.
Don't put stuff up like that. We'll get banned.
Yep.
If there's any comments out there that like go to a certain wording, we won't put up because here we've been banned quite a few times. I was just banned off Facebook permanently for talking UFC, which is a violent sport, which I've done for a year and a half now with the team. But there's people out there, we just don't want nothing against certain people. We just don't want to put words up there where people can take it the wrong way. You know, we don't promote it. You know,
yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. No worries, DJ. No worries, man. Listen, we know you check into all the shows. We appreciate that.
That's all right.
It's just we don't want to get banned in certain ways because some people they have that.
You never know.
They have that soft ass tissue. You know what I mean? Where they feel like you're talking.
I get it. Yeah, I totally understand. You know,
appreciate you. Yeah, but yeah, we know who checks in, so we appreciate you all the time. But hey, Dan, listen, man. I know we've been on here 2.5 hours. I love it, man. Listen,
yeah.
I didn't mean to hop
way longer than usual.
Yeah, I didn't mean to hop on the show and take over with you and have conversation here, but I love
it. It's
doing
all right, man.
But how about you take us out of here real quick because I do have a sponsorship meeting that I have to not that way, guys. I'm not an AA meeting, okay? I'm talking about another sponsorship coming to out of the box here. So I have the Zoom meeting with them coming up. So that's in like a half hour. So if you want to show the video here and take us out of here, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, he says TJ says great show, and check out our all our shows and sponsor, and I'll be right back.
All right.
Thank you for joining us tonight. We lost our co-host, unfortunately. He'll be back next week. So hope Ev's all right with that storm. But final thoughts are, I hope the Giants have a good draft. I hope all your teams have a good draft. Looking forward to it. It's about time. We had a long wait, and this is when the excitement starts. So, thank you everybody for joining us and talking some football, and thank you, Paul, for also joining us tonight. Covering for Evan, it was nice. Talking about college football, talking about some players. Absolutely. And Leland says, "I'd love to join your podcast one day." Yeah, like he's a Falcons fan, so
hey, Leland,
well, I was thinking, during the draft, maybe when they're going to pick, we'll bring them on.
Well, I was
something like that.
Hearing out of the box, I always think, outside the box. That's why I named it out of the box here.
Yeah.
And I got bigger ideas. Hey, Leland, I appreciate you show great knowledge here.
Leland knows a lot. He's very
knowledgeable. How about we start a Falcons show? Hey, listen, reach out to me. We'll start one out there. Anybody out there? That's what we're about. My goal was to be outside the box. My goal is to have every team out there. That's the goal out here. We don't charge you anything to be on the network here. All we do is ask you to be passionate, loyal, and committed. That's all we do. And here,
absolutely.
Once you're in, you're part of the family. I've never met Dan, but he's my brother to me. So that's what we are here. Last real quick, we get out of here. Eileen, great show. Thank you so much for time.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yep, Scott, thank you very much. I appreciate
it. Awesome.
And also, Leland, of course, man.
Good luck to the Steelers this year. Hope their draft goes well.
Exactly.
And the Eagles and the Falcons and everybody. Even though I like the Eagles, I hope all the drafts go well and there's not some pick where you throw your TV out the window. Like Daniel Jones at 6, though.
Dan, real quick, we got to go. Let's mention our sponsor one more time. Please,
absolutely.
Sponsor, Monkey Cold Coffee. Make sure you use that promo code OOTB Sports at the register at the checkout. Hit him up. Great friend of mine down in Tampa Bay. Just started his company, spreading it out all the way across the United States now. MonkeyColdCoffee.com. Make sure you use that promo code OOTB Sports at the register. 10% off. Listen, I'm not even just bull crap, and I got it here. And I tell you what, if you like bourbon, you like chocolate, you have the best of both worlds. And listen, if you like coffee cake, try out the coffee cake. I'm telling you, it is so good. So good.
Nice. So good. Absolutely.
Yep. Definitely. All right, Dan, you want to get us out of here, Dan?
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody have a good night. Thank you for joining us. And we'll see you next week at 8 p.m. We'll see if some more moves are made, something like that. So, thank you for joining us, and everybody have a good night.
All right.